dedicated to helping taxpayers just like you with their IRS problems.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS. I was working long hours and weekends just to make ends meet. To make matters worse, the IRS was about to garnish my wages, and I needed to file several years of back tax returns. Then I called the tax professionals at OIC Tax. They stopped the IRS from garnishing my wages. They even placed my account into the IRS's financial hardship program so I don't have to make any payments to the IRS. That's right, no payments to the IRS while I'm in this program.
Call OIC Tax today to see if you qualify for the IRS's financial hardship program. Call 866-530-7979. Call now and mention you heard this radio commercial and receive 10% off their already low fees. 866-530-7979. That number, 866-530-7979. Call now, 866-530-7979.
With CudaSign, paperless e-signing is a no-brainer for any business that requires legally binding signatures fast. That's because CudaSign offers everything you should expect from an electronic signature solution for just $1 per month. CudaSign cuts document turnaround time as much as 90%, thanks in part to its #1 rated mobile app. And CudaSign Secure Cloud stores documents for on-demand tracking and retrieval. Get CudaSign now for just $1 per month. Go to CudaSign.com. That's CUDASIGN.com.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening.
The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
Please don't hit me. Yeah, he sits over there and, it's the best in the world. And I screw up by speaking too soon. Sorry about that. You're listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number, 866-660-5759. Yes, I know you. Yeah. Matt just said, I can make you disappear, Yeah, he can, too. He can. The president, talking before the African Union, said that he believed that if he ran again, he could win. Do you agree? 866-660-5759. Daniel in Mansfield. Thanks for joining us, man. Hi.
Hey, how you doing, JD?
Hanging tough, living large. I'm trying to figure out whether or not I've had my knees scraped so much that I'm angry at somebody even suggesting that I get my knees scraped again. You see what I mean? You've had this effect on me, right? If you don't think you've had an effect on me. By the way, Daniel, for people that don't know, Daniel is a President Obama supporter, voted for him twice. He is a Democrat. He is a good man. He joins us on the air, and we have had great conversations because he's one of those people that says, there's something to standing together as Americans, and he's pointing out his point of view, and we have great discussions. Anyway, so just telling people who you are, Daniel.
All right, so great setup job. Hopefully, I'll live up to your expectations.
You always do.
Okay, well, the guy just mentioned that 90% will vote for President Obama, African Americans, that is, and he needs to realize that Democrats usually vote in the 90 percentile. African Americans usually vote for Democrats anyway.
Yeah.
But I think your whole point is, I think deep down inside you may feel like he's right, because if you ran for a third time, you probably would win.
I don't know. Because the first thing that I thought of, I was sitting there, and this is why I started becoming introspective. Okay. The first thing I thought about is that President Reagan always used to talk about the fact that they needed to, what was it, the 23rd Amendment? There was some amendment that said it was passed after FDR was literally killed by the office. Okay.
Right.
They passed a constitutional amendment saying that the president can only serve two terms. Right. And President Reagan kept saying, hey, I really think we ought to abolish that amendment because he thought that he was just getting good at the job when he had to leave.
I understand that. And you know what? I really believe he was just saying that in tongue in cheek, just poking fun a little bit. But me, be honest with you, my opinion, despite the Republicans' best efforts to block his policies, whether it was the debt ceiling debates, which eventually led to the downgrade of the economy, or even
wait a minute. Whoa. What led to the downgrade of the economy had nothing to do with Republicans trying to stop the debt limit being raised. What downgraded the economy was $18.5 trillion worth of debt, man.
Yeah, but we didn't raise the ceiling and we got a downgrade. But my point is this, you and I have great conversations, and I And I do give you credit because you will take all sides of the equation and let people talk it out. But in my opinion, maybe you're a little bit cantankerous because he may win because he has really, I think, has really found his groove. He got his stride. He's really doing well.
All right, man.
I may not believe so, but I think he's
Listen,
really just starting to stride.
You know what? There's plenty of room in the conversation for people that disagree with me, and that's always been the case, and I appreciate you joining us again. Daniel from Mansfield, 866-660-5759. Look, I'm just trying to find the answers. Okay? I'm trying to find the answers. I'm trying to find out why it bugged me so much that President Obama said that if I believe if I ran again, I could win. And it's I know what it is. What drove me crazy was the arrogance of it. Why would you even say something like that? And then I started, like I always do. I started looking at myself and I said to myself, gosh, am I just so sour on President Obama that anything he says will annoy me? Is that where I am right now? And is that my fault? We'll continue the conversation. Got full board of phones. If it's busy, keep trying. I want to hear what you have to say on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Sean Hannity believes the establishment GOP is the reason why Donald Trump has risen in the polls.
That's what this has become, a weak and timid and visionless Washington Republican establishment. And it's now hit a tipping point. Dovetails perfectly into an analysis of why you see the meteoric rise of Donald Trump.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
For almost 2 decades, financial advisor and educator Rick Poston with Empowered Wealth Financial Services has provided peace of mind to thousands who see or hear him in the media or read his work. Rick has been chosen by Bloomberg Business Week magazine as one of the top 20 game-changing financial advisors in the country. A fan of Rick's profound teaching, Brian Tracy, world-renowned business leader, speaker, and best-selling author, has asked Rick to co-author his newest book entitled The Winning Way, where Rick will share with his fans some of the principles that allow Rick's clients to continue on their winning way. If you're looking to break away from that same old investment plan that has provided you with one too many disappointments, stay tuned to 660 AM The Answer every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock for the most educational hour on financial talk radio with Empowered Wealth Radio, live. Or call 469-361-4020.
We've been hearing a lot about Uber lately, so we decided to get out there and talk to some actual Uber partners to get our questions answered.
Is signing up to drive with Uber really hard?
Nope, signing up with Uber is super easy.
It was simple and easy.
Okay, but can I drive my own car?
Yes. You get to drive your own car.
But my roommate doesn't even have a car. Can she drive with Uber?
They can help her get a car too.
I wouldn't be able to get a vehicle if it wasn't for Uber. It took me less than 6 hours to get a car.
So you could just sign up and earn money.
Sign up, drive, and you make some money.
You're saying I can just use the smartphone app to make money whenever I want?
Yeah, you just open the app whenever you feel like driving.
All I have to do is turn on my phone, hit the road, and I start making money.
Are the hours good?
I work less hours and I make more money.
I'm my own boss now, so I set my own hours.
Okay, this all sounds pretty great. What do you think I should do?
You need to sign up for Uber.
You can make serious life-changing money when you drive with Uber. Get started today at drivewithuber.com. That's drivewithuber.com. drivewithuber.com.
Everything is bigger in Texas, including electricity bills. But now's your chance to save big on your home electricity rates. If you feel like you're overpaying for your electricity, get ready to hear this big news. Take better control of your monthly bills and find great rates available to you with Save On Energy. Best of all, we have low rates from some of the top Texas energy providers, and you could lock in your rate right now for up to 5 years. That's right, 5 years of locked-in rates gives you protection against electric rates going up and up. Call 800-783-4407 now to see if you could start saving money today with a locked-in low rate. Thousands of customers have already made the fast and easy switch. Our energy experts can get you a great rate and get your service set up with one simple phone call. Just call 800-783-4407 today. Call the Electric Savings Hotline toll-free now at 800-783-4407 to see how much you can save. Call 800-783-4407. That's 800-783-4407. Again, 800-783-4407.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got a question. Why is your mobile phone bill going to help Hillary become president of the United States? Answer is, same reason Big Mobile helped Obama win twice. It's what they do. Now Hillary's counting on Big Mobile to help her in 2016. If you're okay with that, don't listen further. But if you don't want to support Hillary or other leftist candidates and causes, switch to EOS Mobile. EOS Mobile. Website is EOScell, EOSCELL.com to learn more. EOS has the same great nationwide network, high-speed data, voice, pretty much everywhere across the country. EOS has the same devices you've come to love. And with plans starting at $9.99, a plan for every budget. Best of all, EOS Mobile at EOScell.com gives 5% of each bill to conservative causes and candidates. If you're stuck in a contract, they'll buy you out. If you want your phone bill to support conservative candidates, the choice is clear. EOScell.com. Learn more now at EOSCELL.com. EOScell.com. Same phones, same service, better causes. EOScell.com. EOSCELL.com.
You know, when you wake up feeling sore, whether it's shoulder pain, hip pain, low back issues, that tells you that your bed probably needs to be replaced. You know, if you're a side sleeper and your bed is too firm and it's compressing the shoulders or the hips, it causes torsional rotation, which is essentially twisting of the body. And what we do with a Sovereign bed is we fit you for a bed that is going to hold your body in a neutral position. Sovereign European Sleep Systems, Inwood and Lovers in Dallas. Learn more at SOVN.com.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report, must-hear radio on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. I was really annoyed with the president today. He said, if I ran again, I could win. He was talking about term limits before an audience with the African Union. He's talking to all of these African Union presidents who routinely ignore term limits. And he says, stop it. You know, nobody needs to be president for life. And I thought that was actually a very good statement. But it bugged me when he said that he believed if he ran again, he could win. Why would he say something like that? Daniel from Mansfield, solid President Obama supporter, said, hey, you know, this is maybe he was trying to prod us into this conversation. What do you think? First of all, do you believe that he could win? Yes or no, and why? And second of all, am I just getting grumpy as far as President Obama is concerned? Do I have any basis to be annoyed at that statement? Let me get to Marcia in Denton. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Jon-David, hi. This is Marcia.
Hi, Marcia.
I am calling again, I think. Why is Fox News and all the media, why aren't they saying more about who Obama really is? Who's the power behind him, the communist George Soros, and Obama's nothing but a puppet on his strings. So why aren't we hearing more about that, his one world government, anti-America, anti-Israel advocation? Why? I don't understand why we don't hear about that more, that we aren't really educating the voters what we're voting for, a downfall of America. That's what he said. He was going to change this country.
Well, there are two reasons.
Pardon me?
There are two reasons. Okay, there are two reasons, Marcia. First of all, the mainstream media isn't going to report that as anything except a loony conspiracy theory, a collection of loony conspiracy theories. Those of us on the right side of the conversation are going to try to live up to a more journalistic ideal, and that is to report the news and let you decide what that's all about. Do I believe that there are plenty of Americans who believe, as you do, that there are dark forces behind certain aspects of American power? Sure. They've been saying that about every president for as long as the country has existed. When I was growing up, it was the Trilateral Commission. It was the Bilderbergers. It was the, on and on and on. Okay. It was these dark forces of conspiracy behind every presidential move and so on and so on. Well, I'm beginning to realize that if that was the case, I think our government would be more competent, maybe more malevolent, but certainly more competent. I mean, wouldn't you agree? I mean, seriously. But at this particular moment, I'm not going to entertain those things. I asked appropriate questions when questions that weren't being answered by the Obama administration were being asked. I asked those questions too. And I haven't given up trying to get the answers to them either. But at the end of the day, you cannot pound the same thing over and over and over again. You have got to move with the story. At some point, somebody's going to write a book. And when that book is written, then we'll bring this back up again, and you can call me on the phone and say, see, I told you so. Or maybe not. We'll see. Let me get to Wayne in Dallas. Wayne, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Yeah, hi, JD. I want to come at this from a little bit different angle, although I am as grumpy as you are about the whole scenario. I feel like Obama can win again because he and the Democratic leadership both know that the Republican Party hierarchy cannot and will not contest the vote in minority voting districts. And this is all due to a 1981 voter intimidation lawsuit. Republican Party signed a consent decree that's still in effect now. So when Romney was getting hammered in places like Cleveland and Philadelphia, like 400 and 500 votes to 2 and 0, there was never an outcry for any kind of revote or, checking on, the results at all. And I firmly believe this is one of the main reasons that Obama won is that there was massive vote fraud.
Well, I don't know that there's massive vote fraud or not. I mean, that's a lot of vote fraud. And you have to understand that one of the reasons why we have the Electoral College is to give a safety valve to people who believe that, yeah, there might be a problem. There might be a problem with the election. That's why electors that represent, have the same numbers in states as the congressional delegation, sit there and watch all these elections. That's exactly why we have the Electoral College. If we had a direct public vote, a direct popular vote, I believe you might have a pretty good point there. Now, do I believe that certain electoral contests can be manipulated and can indeed lead to horrific consequences for the United States? You bet. You bet. When what's his face, ran for senator in Minnesota, Al Franken. Al Franken has as much right to be a senator of any state in the United States as a typical skateboard. But there he is, and he was the deciding vote on Obamacare. Most people believe that was voter fraud that got him elected.
Yeah,
but I don't think. But like many people say, I don't believe there's enough voter fraud to be able to overwhelm not just the public vote, not just the popular vote, but also the electors.
I just still think Ohio was a swing state. I think probably Pennsylvania was too. And then if you have massive fraud in heavy voting districts where the numbers are outrageous and totally slanted towards Obama, I still feel like the fact the Republican Party never challenged those results tells me a lot. And I'd urge everybody who's a researcher to check into this and see if there's any validity to it. I think there is. So I just want to call it.
I think that's fine. I don't have any problem with that, and I'm glad that's a good call to action, and I hope somebody takes you up on it. 866-660-5759. Let me get to Vanessa in Dallas. Thanks for joining us. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I think he would win. The only reason that I think that he would win is he will suspend the Constitution and make himself king. He said no one could be president forever, but he didn't say anything about being a king. So you have to watch him with words. He uses the words and changes them around. He says one thing, but he means something else.
Yeah. I don't know.
Also,
Go ahead.
I'm clairvoyant because I predicted this would happen.
You did?
Yes, I knew it was going to happen.
Why? What did you base it on?
Because he has a big ego, and he sucks. But anyway, if he weren't so tall, Jon-David, I would think that he had a Napoleon complex.
I see. So I'm taking it you didn't vote for him.
Heck no. I turned away from the Democratic Party after Clinton. It was so horrible, but I couldn't take it anymore.
I understand what you mean.
And I'm a black woman, and I will never go back to the Democratic Party again, ever.
Why?
I hate them so. Hell, they was the party of slavery, the Ku Klux Klan. It's just so much that they've done to black people. I feel like black people suffer from that syndrome. What is this syndrome where you identify with your captor?
Oh, Munchausen's by proxy?
Not Munchausen, something
No,
else.
no, it's
that
I'm
has
sorry,
to do with the
Stockholm
woman
syndrome.
trying to get sympathy.
It's Stockholm syndrome.
syndrome.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I'm sorry.
Yes, I believe that black people suffer from that.
I got you.
Okay.
Vanessa, thanks for calling. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
All right. Now you're listening to the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer. So, the President of the United States, probably riffing. He went off script. Probably riffing, saying, I actually think I'm a pretty good president. I believe if I ran again, I could win. He's not the only president that I'm sure that any two-term president believes that he's got something going to the point where he would say something like that. But it offended me. And maybe it's because I have seen so many things distress me during this presidency. But at some point, you know, you have to look at this and you have to go, and I guess it's the same thing that I've been talking about. You remember Jade Helm? I know for a fact that the state of Texas adores the military of the United States. And they should. And everybody around the country immediately decided that we were anti-military and we were worried that everybody was going to come and take all our guns and blah, 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 and they made fun of us. And I said at the time it was because people don't trust the government. And I guess, and I'm one of them, and I guess that what ended up happening is that that's where this hit me, where I said, it's arrogant, but he is a two-term president of the United States. You sort of get to say, yeah, I sort of won 2 elections. I mean, that means something, and it does. But it offended me so much. It offended me. And I said to myself, okay, so this offense is based on arrogance? Is it based on my lack of trust in the U.S. government right now? And I'll be honest, I think the latter is probably true. It's not the United States military. It's the bureaucratic, executive level, let's use the law as a political tool thing that I find so destructive. And that all comes back to the Obama administration. And I think that's probably where I got all that. Bill in Bedford, Texas, what do you think? Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Hello, Jon-David. It's not my first time with you. You do a great job, but I think your last 2 callers hit the nail on the head. I think you need to tell a little bit more about the real behind-the-scenes Obama. I go back about 4.5 years, sir. I'm sorry, about 4.5 decades.
There you go.
Presidents, okay? So I've got a little bit of education as far as watching, and I have never in my life seen a man in that Oval Office do the things that this man has done. Just absolutely ridiculous. The man does not know where his priorities are, or maybe he does.
Oh, I think he absolutely does. You see, you're old enough like me to remember these kids from the 60s. You know, when Bill Ayers, formerly of the Weather Underground, showed back up again, right? When he showed back up again and he was palling around with President Obama, I remember that upper class group of young, dauntless, brave, soft Marxist, anti-war protesters from the 60s. You remember that group of kids?
Absolutely. I remember all of it very well. That was my era.
Well, yeah. Okay. So what I'm saying is that those of us who watch those kids do their best to tear America apart, and did a pretty darn good job of it, by the way. Students for a Democratic Society, all of these, the Weather Underground, all of these groups that were toying with, and it was just basically foolish dumbness insofar as none of them had any idea what they were talking about, especially when it came to Marxist philosophy, socialism, and all that stuff. I mean, when they started talking about a responsible government, that led them irrevocably into this Marxist gobbledygook that a lot of them actually believed. And I believe that, honestly, and it was the same people that you keep hearing talked about, all these people that said that you have to, rules for radicals. Here's how you do it, and they are following that book. And it's annoying to me that it works, but it does. And these are these people.
Right. Let me ask you a quick question.
Sure.
Why do you think Obama, even though he puts on a good front, why do you think he hates America so much? The land that has given him so much, more than any man in that Oval Office in the history of this country.
Right.
Why do you think he despises America so much and goes around the world telling everybody what a bad nation we are? I don't understand it.
I think I think what you're trying to deal with here, Bill, is the fact that he believes that he's embarrassed by the power. He's embarrassed by the influence. He's embarrassed by a United States. He's embarrassed by Pax Americana. Okay? He's just embarrassed by all of that. I mean, there's a group of people out there that just believe that America is a terrible place, and he's one of them. And he's trying to do something to fix it, in his view, which I think is ridiculous. You're looking at the most successful country in the history of the human endeavor. No. So what ends up happening is that these people are true believers in a 60s philosophy that basically went nowhere, but they don't know it. See what I mean? You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Are you ready to experience Israel?
Every once in a while, an opportunity to do something truly special comes along. An opportunity for an unforgettable and timely expedition to the land of Israel. This year, be a part of the Stand with Israel tour. Spend 9 days this fall in the fascinating and dramatic land of Israel with Mike Gallagher and Dennis Prager. Enjoy first-class accommodations and meals in comfort and safety. Visit 660amtheanswer.com for all the details and to register now. That's 660amtheanswer.com.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy, here with the Big Boat and Outdoor Show. It's boating time, folks, so don't forget to tune in to the only boating talk show on 660 AM The Answer every Saturday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by BoatSelect.com, the site with thousands of boats for sale, or list your boat for free on BoatSelect.com. I know you have questions about your boat or one you're buying. Email those questions to me at BigBoatShow@yahoo.com.
Finally, the rain appears to be over and summer is upon us. The recent rains have caused the clay soil to expand and raise some homes with foundation problems, making them appear to be fixed. I'm Tom Kidd, engineering graduate of Texas A&M and owner of Structured Foundation Repairs. Our number is 972-484-1200. Listen, heavy rain swelling the clay soil and raising homes with foundation problems is like pumping air into a tire with a slow leak. It may look like the tire is fixed, but it is still leaking air and will eventually go flat again. If you think this might be happening with your home, call Structured Foundation Repairs today for a free, comprehensive evaluation of your foundation. We'll let you know if you have a foundation problem or if you're just experiencing normal seasonal movement. We'll also check to see if you have a drainage problem around your home and make recommendations if the drainage should be improved. We're fully insured and our peers come back by a lifetime transferable warranty. So if you have questions about your foundation or think you might have a drainage problem, call Structured Foundation Repairs today at 972-484-1200 or click structuredfoundation.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis with something I know you do not want to spend your summer doing. Paying 2 mortgages while only living in one house, or stuck in one house that you can't sell when there's another house right over there across town that you'd love to move into, but you can't. If you're stuck in a home you can't sell and nobody else has been able to sell it for you, let me solve that for you. Josh DeShong, my hero. He sold our home. Josh DeShong and the now famous Josh DeShong home selling team. Here's how he works. Marketing budget like nobody else. Energy like nobody else. Putting your house in front of so many people. You only need one buyer. He will find it. Here's his pledge. You'll sit down with Josh DeShong. Talk about a price and a time frame. If your house does not sell at that agreed upon price in that agreed upon time frame, that's it. Josh DeShong will buy your house. Your house will get sold. That's why his website is getsold.net. Getsold.net. Call Josh today. Get him on your team. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644 or getsold.net.
Hello?
Hi, is this Amy?
Speaking.
This is Steve from LifeLock, calling about your response to the alert we sent for a credit application at a store in Portland.
Yes? That wasn't me. I'm in Tampa.
I understand. I'm going to work with you to help you resolve this, okay?
Thanks, Steve. I feel better already.
LifeLock detects threats to your finances, alerts you to danger, and helps restore your identity if anything's found. And with LifeLock Ultimate Plus, you get protection for your bank accounts, investments, even the equity in your home. Look, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor transactions at every business, but LifeLock Ultimate Plus provides comprehensive identity theft protection. Visit LifeLock.com now and enter promo code AWARE or call and mention AWARE to save 10% on your LifeLock Ultimate Plus membership. Call 800-838-6010. 800-838-6010. 800-838-6010.
Sample comes with a 90-day order. Copays and deductibles may apply.
If you or someone you care for are using painful urinary catheters,
Jon-David.
Medical Direct Club can help. There's a new catheter that hurts less, and you can get a free sample with free shipping by calling now. Pain and urinary tract infections can be avoided if you're using urinary catheters. The new disposable catheters from Medical Direct Club hurt less due to an incredible new design that reduces pain by gliding easily and effortlessly. Old catheters can scrape and cut, causing pain and infection. These new catheters from Medical Direct Club are changing the lives of people who use urinary catheters. Medicare and your insurance will pay for up to 200 of these new catheters per month at little or no cost to you. Medical Direct Club handles all of the paperwork with your doctor and includes lifetime free shipping when you join. Membership and a free sample are free, so call Medical Direct Club now. 1-800-600-6144. That's 1-800-600-6144. End painful cathing today. Call 1-800-600-6144.
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. The Wells Report is on 660 AM. The Answer.
I actually think I'm a pretty good president. I think if I ran, I could win.
A lot of people agree with you, Mr. President. I have to be perfectly honest with you. That statement drives me crazy. It just does. I think the question that we just had probably puts me in a position where it kind of explains the way I feel. This country is perhaps the brightest spot in the human existence, and always has been. Not just the people who started it, but the people who sustain it, and the people who live here, and our laws, and our systems, and our beliefs, and our love for each other, and our love for this nation. It's offensive to me that someone would stand up and say that this is a terrible place that is in desperate need of fundamental change. Now, I'm just as willing to look at something, at improvements as anybody. But I still have to try to figure out why it is that we needed all of this hope and all of this change, which looks to me like we are writing disastrous checks that will come due at some point, and we will suffer the consequences. And so, based on what I know, I say these things, and I look at this and I go, okay, well, Mr. President, I am glad that you are termed out. I am. And I'm trying to figure out what you're going to think of to do next. And I'm worried. This is the Wells Report. Hi, this is Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report for my good friend Walt Parker. Walter, you know, you picked kind of a silly name for a very serious business.
Yes, I hear that a lot, JD. But our goal is to allow our customers to not get sick when they are investing. We give them the education they need to make confident decisions about their future. Here are my personal top 5 reasons how InvestingMakesMeSick.com can help you. 1, there's more to investing than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities. 2, every client is important to us. 3, knowledge is power, and we can provide that knowledge. 4, every investor is different, and we have many different options for each person. 5, We value your time and offer our We Come to You service.
What are your top 5 reasons for investing? Schedule an appointment with Walt Parker and his team at 972-463-3833. That's 972-463-3833. Or check out their all-new website at investingmakesmesick.com. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. Member of FINRA SIPC. Investment subject to suitability. Risk and expenses may apply. Investingmakesmesick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. What if there was one place where you could get fantastic prices on jewelry, various items, diamonds, watches, bullion, do some gold and silver and precious metals investing, place that dealt in maybe some rare coins, and maybe that would fix a watch or a piece of jewelry if you need some repairs? Wouldn't it be great if there was one place that did this? Well, there are 7, and they are all locations of Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange. Oh, I know there are places that do a variety of these things, but nobody does it better. Nobody does it with better people. Nobody saves you more money, and nobody gives you top dollar for old jewelry you don't want anymore like they do at Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange. DGSE.com to find the location closest to you. Every month brings an anniversary, maybe an engagement, good for you, birthdays, things you need to get out there and do some jewelry shopping. That could be a little bit of a tricky job. So let's go to a place where you know you're going to get great help and save a lot of money. Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange, DGSE.com. Check them out, DGSE.com. Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange, DGSE.com.
Love the warmth and beauty of hardwood flooring? Then you got to get to Lumber Liquidators Hardwood Flooring Sale. For deals on over 200 varieties of hardwood from just 99 cents. You could pay twice as much at other stores, but we've got gorgeous, pre-finished, easy-to-install chase oak hardwood from $189. Stunning, wide plank solid 3/4-inch espresso heavy for $299. Incredible deals on solid bamboo from just $129. Plus laminate and more from 49 cents. And 24-month special financing. The hardwood flooring sale is going on now. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. The White House's decision to release an Israeli spy is being seen by many as an effort to soften Jerusalem's opposition to the Iran nuke deal, which the White House denies.
The Justice Department today announced the parole of convicted Israeli spy Jonathan Pollard in November, ending his 30-year sentence for conspiring to send classified U.S. defense secrets to Israel.
Fox's Doug McElway. Anti-Planned Parenthood protests in dozens of cities today. Among the pro-life demonstrators, some GOP presidential prospects.
Among them, Senator Ted Cruz. And again, pointed the finger at his own party, telling me
it was Republican leadership that led the effort to preserve the funding for Planned Parenthood. That is why so many millions of Americans are frustrated.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland reporting Planned Parenthood says they don't profit from the practice of dealing in fetal tissue. Joyce Mitchell pleads guilty to helping a pair of convicted killers escape from a New York prison. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer. Dennis Prager has learned the language of the president.
Nobody has been better at manipulating language than Barack Obama. Listen to this. They haven't come up with a better alternative. So that sounds, yeah, come on, Republicans, come up with a better alternative. Notice he doesn't say they didn't come up with an alternative. He says they didn't come up with a better alternative. Obviously, he doesn't think it's going to be better.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM, The Answer.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List, and this is the Good Contractors List Word of the Month. I love a good, encouraging, positive message, but some days there just isn't enough times you can look in the mirror and say to yourself, this is going to be a great day. Some days are just not fun. On those days, you can focus on the problem and start telling yourself that things are never going to get better. Or you can say to yourself, I'm going to wait this storm out. The Bible talks about the armor of God in Ephesians 6. It says, therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you've done everything, to stand. Some days, all we can do is just stand there and face the evil day, knowing that the armor of God is enough. Submit yourself to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List.
The Word of the Month has been brought to you by thegoodcontractorslist.com.
Let's make an offer on that Aspen Street house.
That one doesn't have a home warranty.
Is that a problem?
Not if you like paying through the nose on home system breakdowns.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like if the air conditioner quits, want to pay for a new one? Do you know how to fix the water heater, the plumbing?
Got it. Let's only look at places with home warranties.
A home warranty from American Home Shield protects homeowners against unexpected covered repairs and breakdowns of major home systems and appliances. Who would want to move into a new home without one? Just ask your local real estate professional. Or for complimentary, helpful information about a home warranty from American Home Shield, call now at 1-800-771-2898. Service requests are subject to a fee for each trade called. Some exclusions and limitations apply. An American Home Shield home warranty instantly gives home buyers confidence in their purchase. For complimentary, helpful information, including terms, rates, and coverage, call 1-800-771-2898. 1-800-771-2898.
This isn't a commercial. It's a gift to anyone who's sick and tired of dealing with their hearing loss. Because we'll give everyone who calls a risk-free trial of a life-changing hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear. Not only that, we'll also give you free shipping and free batteries for life. But you must call now. 1-800-943-2757. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Listen Clear is so invisible, people may not even know you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. So if you're sick of dealing with your hearing loss, let us give you a 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-943-2757. That's 1-800-943-2757. 1-800-943-2757.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to urinate? Well, you're not alone. Most men will experience these prostate-related issues in their lifetime. Right now, the manufacturer of GoFlow Prostate is sending out risk-free supplies to the listeners of this station. And since GoFlow was developed by renowned MD Dr. Mitchell Fleischer, its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce frequent nighttime bathroom trips and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait, because supplies are limited. Call 1-800-668-0074. That's 1-800-668-0074 to get your risk-free supply. GoFlow Prostate is guaranteed to reduce your frequent trips to the bathroom and promote healthy urine flow. Plus, if you call right now, you'll even get free shipping with your risk-free supply of GoFlow Prostate. Dial 1-800-667-5138. Don't delay. If the phones are busy, call back. 1-800-667-5138. 1-800-667-5138.
You want to feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local radio and TV broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information on your radio, TV, computer, tablet, and smartphone. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Tell Washington local stations matter by texting radio to 52886. Furnished by NAB and the station. Message and data rates may apply.
The main components of a Solvin bed are the following. It's an extremely durable bed. You should never see sags or body impressions or anything of that sort. It's an extremely clean mattress. You don't have any chemicals or chemical off-gassing, no chemical flame retardants, and it's custom tailored, so that ensures greater comfort and something that's going to work for you based on size, weight, and how you sleep. Solvin European Sleep Systems, Inwood and Lovers in Dallas. Learn more at sovn.com.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells, and Mark Meadows is very unhappy with Speaker of the House John Boehner. Who is Mark Meadows? He is a Republican representative from the state of North Carolina. He has filed a resolution, a, quote, motion to vacate the chair, unquote, late today, claiming that John Boehner has endeavored to consolidate power and centralize decision-making, bypassing the majority of the 435 members of Congress and the people they represent. The proposal was referred to a committee stocked with leadership loyalists and therefore is probably not going to emerge from that committee. The motion says that John Boehner has caused the power of Congress to atrophy, thereby making Congress subservient to the executive and judicial branches, diminishing the voice of the American people. Does he have a point? 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. The motion also claims that Boehner has used the power of his office to punish members who vote according to their conscience instead of the will of the Speaker. Last month, leadership briefly stripped Meadows of his subcommittee chairmanship over his votes, but later relented after the conservatives in the conservative caucus objected. The resolution could place House Democrats in a difficult and unusual position. Democrats would face a dilemma of either voting to help preserve Speaker Boehner, with whom they have frequently clashed, or backing House conservatives and gambling on pandemonium by helping throw Boehner out. Some GOP members told Fox News that Meadows' resolution is the best thing that could happen for President Obama, taking attention away from the contentious issues of the Iranian nuclear deal and swirling controversy around Planned Parenthood for the August recess. A senior GOP source told Fox News the motion would now make the Republican leadership the topic du jour instead of the Iran deal. Representative Devin Nunes of California was quick to dismiss the resolution. You don't raise any money. You need a way to raise money. You do gimmicks like this, said Nunes, who is close to Boehner. But Representative Walter Jones, also from North Carolina, appeared to back Meadows, saying the GOP leadership is not listening to the American people. He complained specifically about leadership not allowing quick votes against same-sex marriage and federal money for Planned Parenthood. Speaker Boehner has not said a word. He probably doesn't need to. But I think there are some things linking up here, and I'm wondering if you see them as well. Let's take these things one at a time. If you could replace Speaker of the House John Boehner right now, would you, yes or no? 2, is replacing John Boehner hurting the Republicans in the House of Representatives? Yes or no? 3, do you believe GOP leadership cares one way or another about what we, the people of the United States, want from our Congress? Yes or no? 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. If you could replace John Boehner right this moment, would you? Would his replacement hurt the Republican Party? Do you believe that John Boehner cares one bit about what we, the people of the United States, believe, think, want out of our Congress? 866-660-5759. This is a big deal. One of the reasons why, and this is why I keep saying that these are dots that are lining up. These are things that are beginning to link up. Let's take a look at Donald Trump. Okay? Let's take a look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a guy who is leading the league when it comes to, it's a 16-team league, leading the league of Republican presidential candidates by a bunch. But everybody who says that they are paying very close attention to Donald Trump also say they're not going to vote for him. His disapproval numbers are through the roof. So what is that telling us? What that tells us is that professional politicians are blowing it. And the people of the United States are tired of it. We are tired of being strung out, strung along. We'll get this border taken care of. We'll get all this stuff taken care of. Just hang in there. We're waiting for the tactics to emerge. I'm really tired of all that. Okay? The House of Representatives is supposed to be a contentious, knockdown, drag out, do things quickly kind of body. And I believe that, yeah, I think that Mark Meadows has a very, very good point when he says the Republican leadership doesn't care about conservative ideology, doesn't care about conservatives at all. And oh, by the way, really doesn't care what we, the people of the United States, think either. Time after time after time, 75% majorities have made their wishes known, both in polling and in communications directly with their representatives, and the Republicans have turned away. Do we have that sound from yesterday from Ted Cruz? Do we have that Ted Cruz sound where he talks about how we've been, how we needed the House of Representatives, then we needed the Senate, and so on and so on. He was talking about the Senate leadership, but I think these things are beginning to coalesce around an idea that Republican Party leadership doesn't really care. So let's get busy on this. So first of all, Paul, thanks very much for joining us from Dallas, Texas. Do you believe if you could replace John Boehner, would you replace him immediately?
As soon as I could.
Why?
Because I don't think he's doing anything for the Conservative Party or the Republican Party either. He's just a Democrat in disguise, it seems like to me.
So you think he just doesn't care?
I don't think he does care.
Huh.
I just don't think it, and I think he's hurting the Republican Party, to tell you the truth.
Because he will not move forward. I mean, what is he waiting for in the Planned Parenthood vote? I mean, what could he possibly be waiting for?
There's no excuse for it.
Yeah, I mean,
bring it up right now if he wanted to, but he don't want to.
Yeah, there's got to be a congressional. There got to be congressional hearings. There have to be congressional. I mean, there have to be like Watergate style hearings on this Planned Parenthood thing. I mean, this is huge. All right. So now we have Mark Meadows in the House of Representatives taking shots at House leadership, saying that John Boehner should quit. Do you agree? If you could replace John Boehner, would you? 866-660-5759. Yesterday, it was Ted Cruz, another Tea Party guy, taking shots at Mitch McConnell and Republican Party leadership as well.
The American people were told, if only we have a Republican majority in the House, things will be different. Well, in 2010, the American people showed up in enormous numbers, and we got a Republican majority in the House. And very little changed. Then the American people were told, the problem is the Senate. If only we get a Republican majority in the Senate and retire Harry Reid as majority leader, then things will be different. Well, in 2014, the American people rose up in enormous numbers, voted to do exactly that. We've had a Republican majority in both houses of Congress now for about 6 months. What has that majority done? First thing we did in December is we came back and passed a $1 trillion cromnibus plan filled with pork and corporate welfare. That was the very first thing we did. Then this Republican majority voted to fund Obamacare, voted to fund President Obama's unconstitutional executive amnesty, and then leadership rammed through the confirmation of Loretta Lynch as Attorney General. Madam President, which of those decisions would be one iota different if Harry Reid were still majority leader?
All right, so that's what Ted Cruz said. It wasn't yesterday. It hit the news yesterday. It was last Friday. Okay. So there is deep dissatisfaction with Republican Party leadership. It's so deep that with every poll, we, the people of the United States, are communicating with Republican Party leadership by our support of Donald Trump, that they are blowing it. And I believe they absolutely are. Earl in Arlington, Texas. So would you fire John Boehner if you could?
Yesterday.
Okay. Do you think that's going to hurt the Republicans headed towards the presidential chase in 2016?
The way they've been behaving, don't they need to be hurt? They're not opposing any unconstitutional actions. They're sitting there rubber stamping whatever the White House wants. They're supposed to be the loyal opposition.
I agree. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Let me get to Robert in Dallas. Robert, thanks very much for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Hey, JD. John Boehner needs to go like 2008. He has fought harder against his own conservative base than he has the liberal agenda in Obama. He has shown his true colors. He cares nothing about the power and the establishment and the Washington status quo. And the American people are sick of it. And will it help the GOP? Absolutely. And the reason why is because when he's gone, it'll show that we are finally serious about getting rid of all the corruption. And we start with him, and Mitch McConnell's next.
Well, I don't know what Mitch McConnell's doing. I mean, I've known that guy to be a rhino ever since he first showed up. I mean, the wise old owl from Kentucky, is only conservative when he's about to lose an election and has to do something about it. That's the only time he is ever conservative. The rest of the time, he's doing all of this wonderful Senate garbage. These terribly important things. We agree on the principle of things, but actually making it happen is something that we've got to be very careful of in the United States Senate. Meanwhile, the Democrat agenda marches virtually unhindered, step by step by step, as so brilliantly described by Ted Cruz. Listen, I got a lot of respect for all those guys that have worked so hard to be in the Republican Party leadership. But I'm tired of losing. We work as hard as anyone every single day trying to figure out just exactly what we, the people of the United States, want. We report it on the air every single day, and it is ignored by the Republican Party leadership every single day. What giveth? You're listening to the Wells Report.
The Mike Gallagher Show.
The Arizona Cardinals will make history this summer as they've hired the first female coach in NFL history. Also, what do disgraced comic Bill Cosby and former President Bill Clinton have in common? One famous feminist claims more than you think. And is former Daily Show host Jon Stewart providing advice to the Obama administration?
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 10, right before Dennis Prager at noon on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis from my friends at Good Feet, America's #1 arch support. And that invites the question, who needs arch supports? Answer is more people than you think. Do your feet hurt at the end of a day? That's not just the way life is supposed to be. You should have arch support where your feet feel great even at the end of a long day of walking. If your feet hurt at the beginning of the day, man, you got all kinds of issues, and they can be helped. You can get out of pain with arch support. It could be structural misalignment, plantar fasciitis, kind of a foot alignment, supination, overpronation, all these technical things that they know about at Good Feet. And what you'll know is you can walk in pain. You can limp in and walk out pain-free. This happens with so many people. I want to send everybody to goodfeetdfw.com, goodfeetdfw.com, Plano, Fort Worth, Southlake. Absolutely fantastic people. No shots, no medicine, no surgery, just relief from pain. So get out of pain today. 888-660-0942, 888-660-0942, or goodfeetdfw.com. That's goodfeetdfw.com.
I'm Steve Sidkowski, a former Wall Street insider. I'm holding a book that will show you investing strategies which could help you earn the kind of money you've always dreamed about. And right now, I'm giving this book away for free. So who needs to read it? If you're in the middle of your career and worry you'll never have enough money to retire, you need to read this book. If you're already retired and your income isn't enough, you need to read this book. And if you don't want to be selling burgers at 80, you need to read this free book. It includes the strategy I use to make a 72% profit on a trade where the stock only moved 12%. You'll need at least $1 million to ever fully retire. If you're behind on that goal, you really need to read Trade Like the Pros. And you can for free by calling 1-800-708-4557. Skeptical that it will deliver results? It's a free book, so what do you have to lose? Find out how at 1-800-708-4557. 1-800-708-4557.
94.9 KLTY and Dallas Baptist University are excited to welcome A Good Fight Night to Frisco. Friday night, August 14th, 2015 at Elevate Life Church. Fight Night is a fun date for couples of any age or stage. Marriage experts, Dr. Les and Leslie Parrott, interact with you in a night filled with humor and practical new strategies for turning conflict into deeper relationship. They're actually going to show you how conflict can bring you closer together, because if you're like them, you have the occasional cut and you don't want anything to come from that but a bond between you and your spouse. You're going to leave that evening with some fantastic things you can do starting that very night to improve your relationship. Les and Leslie might share a real fight or two of their own to help each of you. Register at FightNightTexas.com. The truth is, we do have distinct differences, and the more we have empathy for each other, the more grace we have for each other. Friday, August 14th, 2015. For more info, visit ElevateLife.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I had numerous credit cards and I was struggling with paying them off because being a teacher, you don't make a whole lot of money.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360 to talk to a certified counselor.
I had heard about Trinity, so I made the call. They took care of all of my credit cards, and now I am completely debt-free.
Trinity will consolidate your bills, stop collections calls, stop late fees, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
The people at Trinity are very friendly. They will do whatever you need them to do in order for you to feel better about being in a very difficult place.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360.
My name is Ann, and I'm debt-free for keeps.
That's 1-800-758-5360.
660 AM, The Answer. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report, and so Mark Meadows, the Republican from North Carolina, filed a resolution, a motion to vacate the Speaker's chair. He wants to replace Speaker of the House, John Boehner. He says that Speaker Boehner's centralized decision-making is bypassing the majority of the 435 members of Congress and the people they represent. Lots of things have been promised by Republicans now in majorities in both the House and the Senate. Not a lot has actually come from any of those majorities that we could hang our hats on. And I was talking about this. I talked about this when I was talking about, once again, by all means, let's elect Republicans to the Senate, because it might be the only chance we have to stop Obamacare. Have they done anything to stop Obamacare? No. They need to do some heavy lifting and get that done. They truly do. 2016 is the magic year. All of this is going to hit. And the people of the United States are going to have to decide whether they want to live in a socialist, crazy train United States where the government takes care of your health care like England. And, oh, by the way, like the Veterans Administration takes care of you. They have to decide whether they want to live in a country like that that's just on the brink of being broke all the time, or whether or not we're going to turn away from this gobbledygook and start being Americans again. And I don't think President Obama has a nemesis in either John Boehner or Mitch McConnell. Let me get to Kathy in Dallas. Kathy, what do you think?
Oh my gosh. First off, I think of Boehner like the tan Joe Biden. You know, he kind of like Joe Biden. He says stupid stuff, but he's got a tan. But the thing is that he has to go, and I always try to figure out why would he do those things? Why would he say? Why would he be so weak? But I honestly believe that the NSA, that Obama's used the NSA to gather so much dirt on those guys that they would sell this country out to keep their jobs. Because I think they step out of line, and everybody knows how Obama behaves when he doesn't get what he wants. And, you know, so I think they're terrified. And I don't care why they're doing it. They just have to not be in a position to be able to do that anymore.
Well, you certainly have some points there. There have also been some Democrats that have really had some serious problems with the Obama administration. Suddenly, all of these very terrible things get talked about out of nowhere. You know, the following the traditions and craziness of Chicago politics. You got a point. Maybe. People have said, gosh, is there biographical leverage on Speaker or Chief Justice John Roberts? Is there biographical leverage on John Boehner or Mitch McConnell? I don't know. Is something going on that is absolutely antithetical to what we, the people of the United States, want to see happen? Yeah, I would say. For a long time. This is supposed to be a representative government. At some point, we, the people of the United States, govern ourselves. But I haven't seen a lot of that lately. And the president can't do that all by himself. He's got to be getting some help. Okay, so is that help coming from John Boehner? Is Mark Meadows on the right track? Is he doing the right thing by saying, hey, vacate the chair? You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
This is Albert Mohler for townhall.com. The recent release of a series of videos showing the senior staff of Planned Parenthood casually discussing the sale of organs from aborted babies is a moral challenge thrown right in the face of all Americans. The initially released video reveals Dr. Deborah Nucatola, Senior Director of Medical Services for Planned Parenthood, discussing the intentional harvesting of organs and other tissues from babies aborted in Planned Parenthood clinics. While casually reaching with her fork for salad, Dr. Nucatola openly tells a group she believes to be medical researchers that there is a great demand for fetal livers. But she said, a lot of people want intact hearts these days. Dr. Nucatola went on to explain in chilling detail that abortionists often plan in advance how to harvest desired organs. The horrifying knowledge of harvested baby hearts must lead to our own broken hearts. A nation that will allow this will allow anything.
When the economy crashed in 2008, the Fed lowered interest rates. They've been low ever since. But now the economy's improving, and most experts believe the Fed will start raising interest rates very soon. That means you should refinance your mortgage now to pull cash out of your home at today's low rates, because once the Fed starts raising rates, they probably won't stop. So beat the Fed to the punch and refi your mortgage before it's too late by making the cash call at 855-875-CASH. Today, Cash Call Mortgage is offering a 15-year fix at 2.99% rate and APR with no closing costs. You have the chance to pull tens of thousands out of your home, lock in a low rate, and pay absolutely nothing out of pocket. But you have to act now. Cash Call Mortgage is designed to save. Call 855-875-CASH today.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. 1 City Boulevard, West Suite 200, Orange, California 92868. Equal housing lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. Subject to loan underwriting. Rates may change without notice. NMLS number 128231.
That's 855-875-CASH.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with the Reliant Air Conditioning Consumer Update. Today's topic is the sales technician. Most companies use their service techs to sell new equipment on service calls. And the more equipment they sell, the more commission they make. But would you buy a new car from your mechanic? The fact is, the guy you're trusting to repair your system actually makes more money if he can sell you a new one. At Reliant Air Conditioning, you get a certified service technician, not a salesman. Our techs don't work on commission and they don't sell equipment. If you need a new system, we're the only company in town that tells you to get 2 other bids and then call us. Now you can save over $3,500 per system with Carrier's Cool Cash. So call 2 other companies, get their price, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning. And you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. If I go somewhere and I love it, I'll come back. If I love it twice, I'll keep coming back. And if there's a place I've continued to walk into for more than 20 years, I must love them. So that means I must love Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange. You would be correct about that. Every time it's time to anniversary shop or birthday shop, or maybe get into that investing in gold and silver thing, which everybody should be doing just at least a little bit of. They'll tell you how. They'll show you the ropes. At Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange, make it your headquarters for all things gold, silver, jewelry, even collectibles like rare coins. Every location of Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange is different, and there's 7 of them, so why don't you find the one that's closest to you? Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange, DGSE.com. Fantastic stuff on the shelves. They'll give you top dollar for jewelry you don't want anymore. So it's just a great place to go. Good people, great prices, fantastic stuff. To jewelry shop, to diamond shop, to gold and silver invest, all at Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange, DGSE.com, DGSE.com.
Pop quiz for all business owners. If you're not incorporated and someone sues your business, which one of these can you lose? Your home, your car, or your life savings? The answer? All 3. Because if you're not incorporated, it's not just your business that can be sued, it's you too, which means you could lose everything. Once business owners realize the risk of not being incorporated, they usually scramble to incorporate or form an LLC. To make it quick and easy, Incorporate.com is now giving away a free incorporation guide to all business owners, so you can incorporate in just 10 minutes. For your free 10-minute incorporation guide, call now, 1-800-733-1035. Protect your financial future. At Incorporate.com, they don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. Call now for your free 10-minute incorporation guide. 1-800-733-1035. Hurry while supplies last. 1-800-733-1035. That's 1-800-733-1035.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM. The Answer. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Let me get to Mark in Denton. Mark, thanks for joining us. Hi.
Hey, Jon-David. How you doing?
Having the time of my life, my friend.
I can hear that. I think now's the time that our congressmen need to separate themselves from the way the party's going. If they're going to be true conservatives, then now's the time to make the move. And I expect, as far as my representative, who just so happens to be yours too, that he passed the chance to do it when they tried to replace him when he got reelected. And now's the time to stand up and do it, because, in my opinion, now we can't keep overlooking this stuff and letting chances slide.
Well, I don't know who your congressman is. Mine is Michael Burgess.
Mine is too.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with Michael Burgess.
Well, I don't either, but he needs to step up now. In my opinion, I can't support him anymore if he passes this opportunity.
Well, all I can tell you is that there's an awful lot of real problems in Republican Party leadership right now. We should have a motion in place right this minute defunding Planned Parenthood. It should be right now. There is nothing stopping anybody except politics. We need to get some things done here, like right now. We need to vote on this Iran deal. The Iran deal is all but cooked. We, the people of the United States, want the Congress to say no to it. I don't know how that's going to be. I don't know how long that's going to be. I don't know how long it's going to be before we actually get that done. But here's a CNN ORC poll. A majority of Americans want Congress to reject the recently negotiated nuclear deal with Iran, even as President Barack Obama's approval rating continues to stand in net positive territory for the second month in a row. That is absolutely wrong, by the way. The president's net positive. CNN, there was information yesterday that said that the president's approval rating is as low as any president has ever had. And so what's ending up happening here is that CNN is trying to find ways of being able to represent failing approval numbers as winning approval numbers. Anyway, the president has been below 50% for years. The president's biggest foreign policy accomplishment, the nuclear agreement reached between the U.S., its allies, and Iran, most say they'd like to see Congress reject it. Overall, 52%. Now, here's what I find interesting about that. 52% is not a veto-proof majority in the American people, among the American people. If it was 62%, that would be remarkable. And I wish it was. The new poll finds a sharp partisan gap on whether Congress should approve the Iran nuclear deal. There is a veto-proof majority among Republicans. We the people. 66% of Republicans, 55% of independents say Congress ought to reject it. 61% of Democrats say it ought to be approved. I would like to know why Democrats want this approved. That's what I want. I want to know what Democrats are thinking. What are they thinking? Younger adults who tend to lead more Democrat are more apt to favor the deal. 53% of those aged 18 to 34 say approve it, while 56% of those aged 35 or older say reject it. In other words, people who read the newspapers, people who actually have a pretty good idea what's going on, say you got to reject this mess. There's an education divide on the deal. 53% of college grads say the deal should be approved. 37% of those with a high school degree or less formal education say they think it should be approved. 37%. Maybe it's because we had to deal with the bullies while the college boys managed to avoid all that. There is something that the president needs to pay attention to. Much of the growing negativity about the economy comes from those in his own party, particularly young Americans. Among Democrats, 58% call the economy good, but that's down 18 points since April. Declines over that time among independents down 10 points to 37%. And Republicans down a statistically insignificant 3 points to 28%. Obviously, a lot smaller. Among young people, they're key components of Obama's electoral coalition in 2008 and 2012. The share of adults 18 to 34 who think the economy is in good shape has fallen 17 points to 38%. This deal, bad deal. Listen to some of the things that people are saying about the Iran nuclear deal. The Iran deal is worth more than all U.S. aid to Israel since 1948. The Iran deal will provide Iran with a cash windfall as sanctions are eased and assets are unfrozen. The total amount is estimated to be as high as $150 billion that Iran would suddenly have on hand. So far, since 1948, the United States, and this is for people that believe that we essentially float the Israeli boat. We most assuredly do not. Since 1948, the United States has given Israel $124.3 billion. That's less than what Iran is going to get if this deal goes into effect. The Israeli ambassador said that the number that would be unfrozen for Iran is somewhere around $150 billion. The Obama administration puts the number at $50 billion since some of Iran's assets have already been obligated, including for projects with China. Others say the number is higher. Foreign policy estimated a number at north of $120 billion, with an additional $20 billion per year in oil revenues, making the deal worth $420 billion over 15 years. If north of $120 billion is the best estimate, that would equal or surpass the total amount of U.S. aid to Israel since the country has been in existence. This is according to the Congressional Research Service. That's ridiculous. And by the way, how's this for a coalition? You want to see who can get together about the Iran deal? Opponents of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the Iran deal, between the P5+1 and the Islamic Republic are making their voices heard and demanding that Congress reject this plan as they contend poses a grave threat to Israel, the Middle East, and the United States. On Sunday, well over 1,000 people gathered outside the federal building in L.A. to demand that Congress vote no on the nuclear deal brokered by Secretary of State John Kerry and his counterpoints that make up the E3 EU plus 3. Check out who was there. There were Jews there. There were Christians there. And there were a significant presence of Muslims there who opposed the regime in Tehran. Yeah. Roz Rothstein, CEO of the Israel advocacy group Stand With Us, expressed the goal of the rally. Tell Congress we need a better deal. The world cannot afford a nuclear Iran. Iran could be the first global power motivated by a radical religious doctrine empowered with nuclear weapons. How can anyone think that Iran doesn't have global aspirations? I don't think they have global aspirations. I think they want to be a regional power. I think they want to sit astride the entire Middle East. And I think they want to destroy Israel as a part of that. That's what I think. Iran is the world sponsor of terrorism. Imagine that with nukes. My colleague Dennis Prager said that. It's not left, right. It's right, wrong. This is embarrassing. It's one of the rare moments when I'm embarrassed to be an American. I'm a proud American. I have never encountered this sense is American. This is analogous to Munich. 1938. Ask Kerry, what is the difference between ISIS and Iran? First, they kill Jews, then they kill you, Americans. They never stop with Jews. If you don't know that, then you're an idiot. Iran is everyone's problem. I'm not asking for troops. I'm calling for a war of sanctions. The threat posed by a nuclear weaponized Iran was not the only message of the rally. Signs reading Iran kills gays and pictures of gays being executed, lynched on cranes, were prominently displayed by various protesters, reminding the world of the Iranian regime's barbaric treatment of the LGBTQRSTUV WXYZ community. It's now the GLBTQ community. I can't keep track. Similar rallies organized with Stand By Us, over 17 protesters have each occurred in Toronto and San Diego. A majority of us want the Congress to reject the Iranian deal. Then, Secretaries of State, Energy, and Treasury, who testified before the U.S. House, are being asked this question: how can we trust Iran? I have trepidation. Barely a week after the Iranians signed the deal with us, there was the supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, chanting death to America, death to Israel, said New York Representative Eliot Engel, the senior Democrat on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. How can we trust Iran when this type of thing happens? Did you see the news today? CNN reports, regardless of the recent deal over Iran's nuclear program, officials in Tehran are taking sharp jabs at the United States. A Twitter account affiliated with Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, posted an image over the weekend that appears to portray the U.S. President Barack Obama holding a gun to his own head. The picture shows a silhouetted figure holding the gun. No facial official features are available. Only a white shirt, red tie, stars and stripes lapel pin. It looks like President Obama. The U.S. president says he could knock out Iran's military, the tweet says. Then it continues with a quote attributed to Khamenei from July 18th that's written out in full on the image. We welcome no war, nor do we initiate any war, but if war happens, the one who will emerge the loser will be the aggressive and criminal United States. We don't know who actually writes this. We don't know whether it's Khamenei or whether it's staffers or what have you. Some of the posts are first-person statements from Khamenei. Others refer to the leader in the third person, alongside photos of him at events. Strong criticism of the U.S. and Israel are recurrent themes on this Twitter account, including posts in recent months about racial tensions in places like New York, Ferguson, Baltimore. The tweet with the gun image has been retweeted more than 1,750 times since it was posted on Saturday, far more than recent posts. How can we trust Iran? I don't know that you can. I don't know that you can trust Iran. I don't know that you can trust any of this. The whole thing is ridiculous beyond sense. And once again, the people of the United States are standing up and saying no to its government. Stop. Do not verify this deal. I don't believe the deal will be verified. I don't believe that the House or Senate will verify this deal. And I got it. But at the end of the day, they need a veto-proof majority in both houses of Congress. They need to stop this. That means there have to be Democrats that cross the aisle. There have to be Democrats that believe in something beyond the party's latest really good idea. There's got to be some conscience somewhere in those Democrat lawmakers on Capitol Hill. Somewhere. And I would say that a country like Israel, if that doesn't get your conscience at least energized to some degree, I don't believe you have one. This is the Wells Report.
For almost 2 decades, financial advisor and educator Rick Poston with Empowered Wealth Financial Services has provided peace of mind to thousands who see or hear him in the media or read his work. Rick has been chosen by Bloomberg Business Week magazine as one of the top 20 game-changing financial advisors in the country. A fan of Rick's profound teaching, Brian Tracy, world-renowned business leader, speaker, and best-selling author, has asked Rick to co-author his newest book entitled The Winning Way, where Rick will share with his fans some of the principles that allow Rick's clients to continue on their winning way. If you're looking to break away from that same old investment plan that has provided you with one too many disappointments, stay tuned to 660 AM The Answer every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock for the most educational hour on financial talk radio with Empowered Wealth Radio, live, or call 469-361-4020.
Here it is. Texas summer. Lots of high temperatures, some rain, and some periods of no rain. And put it all together, it makes a real challenge for your soil, your foundation. And if your foundation is doing weird things, you suspect that it is because you got cracks in the walls or sheetrock or doors that are sticking or floors that don't quite look right, not matching up, call Abacus Foundation Repair. It's the best first call you can make and the only call you need to make. Abacus Foundation Repair. They're going to bring somebody out to map the house with the skill of an engineer, looking for possible causes like plumbing issues so the problem doesn't come back. Let's get on the phone with them right now. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. North Texas homeowners trust Abacus, the only company offering Millennium composite pilings for the strongest foundation solution. They're going to stay with you every step of the way. Work is guaranteed. Certified foundation guy on site at all times. You will be taken care of. It's transferable to new owners. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
Okay, you're on.
We're here live from Niagara Falls for this year's Spring Festival. Wait, what?
That'll do it.
Great job, Will. You two, what are you doing?
Sorry, Canada. You had a leak.
Look, it's Will Nell and Fred Thompson from American Leak Detection.
American Leak Detection.
Guys, come over here. Come here. All right. Here with me now are the guys with American Leak Detection. Please explain yourselves.
Well, at American Leak Detection, we have been detecting and repairing hidden leaks in your home for more than 25 years, big or small.
And all without damaging your home. We can even repair leaks in your swimming pools. Hey, looks like DFW needs us. Just go to AmericanLeakDetection.com to schedule us to come out. That's AmericanLeakDetection.com.
We are visiting our friend Chef Tom Fleming at Crossroads Diner. What do you have cooking today, Tom?
We've talked before, and it's great to talk to you again. Let me ask you a question. When you're going to those other breakfast places, are they making stuff in-house? You should ask them. Because at the Crossroads Diner, well, we make a lot of things in-house. You might ask, what? Well, let me help you. Well, there's the sticky buns, our homemade pancake mix, our whole wheat pancake mix, biscuits made in-house, sauces made from scratch, jams and jellies, our chorizo, Italian sausage, our quiche. I could go on and on, but really, you just need to ask the other guys, are they doing that? Because I don't think they are, but know that we are.
Come eat with us. We're off of Walnut Hill, just east of 75. Open for breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or visit us on the web at crossroads-diner.com. Home-style goodness meets traditional diner. Great recipes, fresh ingredients, comfortable environment, and genuine hospitality are the heart and soul of Crossroads Diner. We'll be waiting for you.
94.9 KLTY and Dallas Baptist University are excited to welcome a Good Fight Night to Frisco. Friday night, August 14th, 2015 at Elevate Life Church. Fight Night is a fun date for couples of any age or stage. Marriage experts, Dr. Les and Leslie Parrott, interact with you in a night filled with humor and practical new strategies for turning conflict into deeper relationship. They're actually going to show you how conflict can bring you closer together, because if you're like them, you have the occasional cut and you don't want anything to come from that but a bond between you and your spouse. You're going to leave that evening with some fantastic things you can do starting that very night to improve your relationship. Les and Leslie might share a real fight or two of their own to help each of you. Register at FightNightTexas.com. The truth is, we do have distinct differences, and the more we have empathy for each other, the more grace we have for each other. Friday, August 14th, 2015. For more info, visit ElevateLife.com.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
Yesterday during the show, somebody brought up Senator Joni Ernst. She is a freshman Republican from Iowa. Remember, everybody said vote for this woman. And people who were talking about her said she hasn't done anything. Well, she fixed that today. Notwithstanding any provision of law, no federal funds may be made available to Planned Parenthood Federation of America or to any of its affiliates, subsidiaries, successors, or clinics. Rules of construction: nothing in this act should be construed to A, affect any limitation contained in the Appropriations Act relating to abortion, or reduce overall federal funding available in support of women's health. Okay? In other words, what she does there with the first one is she sets it up so that the original amendment that banned federal funding for abortion is still in place. So she put that out there. Let me get to Tony in Dallas. Tony, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I was listening to you talk about the House and the Senate and how they need to stand up to Obama on this Iran thing, and I completely agree with that.
Yep.
But Obama has spent his entire administration making his bed with the UN. And whether it's gun control, whether it's the Iran deal, whatever, he's going to go through the UN to accomplish whatever it is that he wants to accomplish.
Except that he's not going to be able to do it. He cannot get anything done in the United States through the auspices of the UN unless he wants more people in Washington, D.C. standing around waiting for him to pack up his office than he's ever seen in his life. You're listening to the Wells Report.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy, here with the Big Boat and Outdoor Show. It's boating time, folks, so don't forget to tune in to the only boating talk show on 660 AM The Answer every Saturday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by BoatSelect.com, the site with thousands of boats for sale, or list your boat for free on BoatSelect.com. I know you have questions about your boat or one you're buying. Email those questions to me at BigBoatShow@yahoo.com.
Hi, I'm John Hill
Michael, founder of the Good Contractors List. I get asked a lot if the Good Contractors List is like Angie's List, so I thought I'd take the time to do a comparison and let you decide. On the Good Contractors List, we actually meet every one of our contractors face to face and have an extensive screening process. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. On the Good Contractors List, if issues arise with our contractors, we get physically involved and will come to your home if necessary. On Angie's List, you can pay to write a bad review. The Good Contractors List takes into consideration things like overhead and sales tactics when choosing our contractors. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. If one of our contractors refuses to fix a problem, we investigate fully and pay up to $10,000 of our own money to get it fixed. On Angie's List, you can write a bad review and you're on your own. The Good Contractors List is absolutely free with a $10,000 guarantee. Reviews are good. Responsibility is better.
The Good Contractors List.
Summertime, kids are out of school, it's vacations all around, but let's get very serious about the fall and next year and the rest of your financial life. Here's an opportunity at the end of July, July 31st, August 1st, in fact, to get into the latest New Venture on Wall Street seminars. Hey, Mark Davis, I've done this and I loved it. It has helped me enormously. NVOWS.com, the website for New Venture on Wall Street, NVOWS.com. See what they do. Pastor David Mitchell's plan on helping you get into the stock market and understand it a little better, be a little smarter, invest a little more wisely, retire earlier, get a second income stream. There's a seminar in Fort Worth at the Norris Conference Center on Houston Street, another in Richardson on East Campbell Road at the Hyatt Regency. Take your pick, July 31st, August 1st, and call and get yourself a seat right now. 877-907-TRADE. 877-907-TRADE. New Venture on Wall Street. Learn about it at NVOWS.com. NVOWS.com, then get your seat now at 877-907-TRADE, 877-907-TRADE.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. The 4-game suspension imposed on Patriots quarterback Tom Brady over Deflategate is being upheld. Commissioner Roger Goodell says so. A former QB tells Fox News the league had no choice.
Now, is Tom Brady getting a 4-game suspension because he didn't cooperate with the NFL? Or is he getting a 4-game suspension because he supposedly deflated the footballs? I really don't know. But, Roger, I think, was in a situation where he almost had to make the decision that he made based upon the evidence that has been presented in front of him.
Joe Theismann, the Secretary of State, tells Congress that if they reject the just-completed Iran nuke deal, they'll be responsible for a Mideast arms race.
Iran will go back to enriching. We will not have inspection. We will not have insight. And they will say, oh, my God, now they're going for a bomb. Now we have a reason to have to get one.
John Kerry. Wall Street breaks a 5-session losing skid. The Dow closes up 189. Fox News. We report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer. Listen on iHeartRadio.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
At Arizona State University, we believe in giving you everything you need to learn to thrive. So it's good to know the experts and college reviewers agree. U.S. News & World Report names ASU the second most innovative school in the country. The Wall Street Journal says ASU is 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates. The esteemed Princeton Review ranks ASU in the top 15% of America's four-year colleges as a leader in undergrad education. This is a university that empowers you to truly thrive. Arizona State University Online gives you the exact same curriculum, identical degree, and access to the same prestigious faculty as on-campus students. You can choose from over 100 degree programs, all enhanced by our innovative online learning technologies. For more information, call 1-800-600-6431. U.S. News & World Report ranked us in the top 10 for earning an online degree. All these high marks should give you confidence in your big plans. Learn to thrive with ASU Online. Call 1-800-600-6431. That's 1-800-600-6431.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Well, it doesn't have to.
Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity with your solution and the one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. On average, Josh sells a home every 32 hours and averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. He spends 200 times more money on marketing than the average agent. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I had numerous credit cards, and I was struggling with paying them off because being a teacher, you don't make a whole lot of money.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360 to talk to a certified counselor.
I had heard about Trinity, so I made the call. They took care of all of my credit cards, and now I am completely debt-free.
Trinity will consolidate your bills, stop collections calls, stop late fees, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
The people at Trinity are very friendly. They will do whatever you need them to do in order for you to feel better about being in a very difficult place.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360.
My name is Ann, and I'm debt-free for keeps.
That's 1-800-758-5360.
Frank, I really think we need an American Home Shield home warranty.
But we have homeowners insurance.
I'm worried about our home appliances and systems breaking down, like our air conditioner. Homeowners insurance doesn't cover any of that. A home warranty does.
But homeowners insurance covers stuff that might happen, like a meteor crashing into our house or a Bigfoot attack.
A Bigfoot attack?
There's a Bigfoot outside now.
That's the neighbor's dog.
Sounds like a Bigfoot.
Homeowners insurance can cover the things that might happen, like Bigfoot destroying your home. But an American Home Shield home warranty covers what will happen, like your home systems and appliances breaking down. Protect your budget from covered breakdowns of up to 21 major home systems and appliances, your air conditioner, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-900-9517.
Pretty sure that's a Bigfoot.
For valuable free information about an American Home Shield home warranty, call 1-800-900-9517. That's 1-800-900-9517. 1-800-900-9517.
This isn't a commercial. It's a gift to anyone who's sick and tired of dealing with their hearing loss. Because we'll give everyone who calls a risk-free trial of a life-changing hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear. Not only that, we'll also give you free shipping and free batteries for life. But you must call now. 1-800-943-2757. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Listen Clear is so invisible, people may not even know you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. So if you're sick of dealing with your hearing loss, let us give you a 100% risk-free home trial, with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-943-2757. That's 1-800-943-2757. 1-800-943-2757.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Got some information from CNN, of all things. Fox News is making it easier for Republican presidential candidates who don't make the cut for the network's August 6th primetime debate to get at least some attention in an earlier event. This is good. A network spokeswoman confirmed to CNN Tuesday it's dropping the mandate that candidates earn at least 1% support in an average of the 5 most recent national polls in order to qualify for the 5 p.m. debate, an appetizer before the main event. That evening debate for the top 10 highest polling candidates will happen then. Fox News Executive Vice President Michael Clement first told Politico of the change, saying in a statement that it's due to overwhelming interest in the event. Yeah, and a lot of us saying you're not going to be able to tell us who we vote for and who we're not going to vote for. The change is helpful for a handful of candidates, including businesswoman Carly Fiorina, Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, and former New York Governor George Pataki, who are all hovering around 1% in the polls. So that's breaking news tonight here on 660 AM The Answer. There is another Planned Parenthood video. It is horrific. It defies decency. A technician who said that she worked for a company that partnered with Planned Parenthood to harvest fetal tissue said there's incentive to try to get the hard stuff because you're going to get more money. This video begins with imagery I'm not going to describe, but it's horrific. It's inexcusable. And oh, by the way, it was from a fetus 11 weeks old. 11 weeks old. I said before the break, I'm trying to figure out how come the Republicans haven't put a Planned Parenthood bill on the docket yet. Mitch McConnell has announced that he's going to fast track the bill that I just talked to you about that was put forward by Joni Ernst and Rand Paul. So there is at least some kind of momentum moving forward on this issue, but it can't come soon enough. This evil is of cataclysmic proportions, in my view. We waited until 10 o'clock to have this part of the show because we wanted to make sure that anybody with sensibilities would have a chance to escape it. And if that's you, then you have your chance. Here is that technician who works for STEM Express, a Placerville County company that works with Planned Parenthood.
So I remember my first day, I was at the Concord Clinic, and it was very early in the morning. I was with one of my trainers, and I walk in, I meet the staff, and I look over in the corner, and there's a little white tray with pie dishes on it. I'm like, okay. And then I see someone come in with a bottle of something, and there was blood in it. I'm like, okay. And then they went over to the sink and they emptied it out in a strainer and put it on the pie dish and lit it up. And I'm like looking like, what's going on? And my trainer comes over and she puts on gloves and she grabs some tweezers and she's picking the parts away from the vaginal tissue. And I've never had anxiety before this at all. So I'm looking and I don't know what's going on. I had no idea this was what was going to be happening, especially my first day. And she has tweezers and she's like, okay, well, this is the head, this is the arm, this is a leg. And she hands them over. Oh, here you go. Can you show me some of the parts I just showed you? And I grabbed the tweezers. I'm like, because I didn't want to lose this job. I didn't know. I was already stoked to get it. So I did what she said. And the moment I took the tweezers, I put them in the dish. I remember grabbing the leg and I said, this is the leg. And the moment I picked it up, I could just feel like death and pain. Like I've never felt that before, like shoot up through my body. And I started to I blacked out, basically. They got the smelling salt. I woke up in the recovery room and looking around, I was really embarrassed, who faints to their first job. And when nurses looks at me, it's like, oh, you're new, huh? I'm like, yeah, don't worry, it still happens to a bunch of us. I'm like, really? It's like, yeah, some of us don't ever get over it. And I remember leaving that day, like, what have I got myself into?
What have we all gotten ourselves into? How did we get here? Well, that's a long story. We got here because what we wanted to do was we wanted to empower another voting bloc to vote for Democrats. That's how we got here. It happened in the early 70s. And it has gotten worse and more horrifying and more terrible ever since. The people who are making these videos say they have enough video for 11 more of these. These videos are not being reported by the mainstream media. Fox News is the only part of the mainstream media reporting these stories. The managers of Planned Parenthood are mouthing these ever more faint and incredible statements about how this isn't that big a deal and nobody really cares. This is a huge deal. This is monstrous. This is monstrous evil. Monstrous evil. It is the Pandora's box that was opened in 1973 with Roe v. Wade. It was when life for women changed. And instead of reveling in what they had, they could only see what they didn't have. Carefully managed by this mainstream media and the political scientists of the left, who found yet another way to divide us and then consolidate voting power in that divided bloc. In this case, American women. This decision and the pill effectively gave control of reproduction in ways that had to do with using tools as opposed to using brain tissue. And suddenly, with a new wave of morality that was at distinct odds with many others that came before it, the entire world changed. I remember my mom not knowing what to think and how to behave. The model that her mother showed her and the model that her grandmother had showed her mother, and back beyond my contact with those people, those models were gone. It was a situation where suddenly everything had changed. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know whether she should stay where she was, whether she should get a job. You know, she wasn't going to cross the Rubicon of morality that some of her contemporaries did, leaving long-standing marriages and families in the lurch, et cetera, et cetera. You know, I remember a divorce in my family, or a divorce in my neighborhood, and everybody was like horrified. They just weren't that rare. They just weren't that often. They were rare. And suddenly we were reading about it all over the place in the news. Got to the point a few years ago where having a baby was the latest accessory. Now we're in a situation where we can. I remember when abortions were 8 weeks or less, period. That was the law. And now we're duking it out for 20 weeks and more. 20 weeks, halfway through. No, these aren't babies, but their hearts are hearts. They're not babies, but their livers are livers. And there are 11 more of these tapes. What are they going to show us? Is there anyone listening to this broadcast that can defend any of this? I doubt it. And if there is no one out there that can defend any of this, that makes it indefensible. And if it's indefensible, why is it being paid for with our tax money? We know they're in trouble because long-standing supporters are saying, no, that doesn't, Planned Parenthood? No, doesn't have anything to do with us. Not only do we not give to Planned Parenthood, we don't match what our employees give to Planned Parenthood, if there are any. When is it time to pull the pin and send Planned Parenthood into the dustbin of evil history? I say now. What do you say? Next on the Wells Report.
Dennis Prager has learned the language of the president.
Nobody has been better at manipulating language than Barack Obama. Listen to this. They haven't come up with a better alternative. So that sounds, yeah, come on, Republicans, come up with a better alternative. Notice he doesn't say they didn't come up with an alternative. He says they didn't come up with a better alternative. Obviously, he doesn't think it's going to be better.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
This is Albert Moeller for townhall.com. The recent release of a series of videos showing the senior staff of Planned Parenthood casually discussing the sale of organs from aborted babies is a moral challenge thrown right in the face of all Americans. The initially released video reveals Dr. Deborah Nukutola, Senior Director of Medical Services for Planned Parenthood, discussing the intentional harvesting of organs and other tissues from babies aborted in Planned Parenthood clinics. While casually reaching with her fork for salad, Dr. Nukutola openly tells a group she believes to be medical researchers that there is a great demand for fetal livers. But she said, a lot of people want intact hearts these days. Dr. Nukutola went on to explain in chilling detail that abortionists often plan in advance how to harvest desired organs. The horrifying knowledge of harvested baby hearts must lead to our own broken hearts. A nation that will allow this will allow anything.
Hi, I'm Tom Kidd, engineering graduate of Texas A&M and owner of Structured Foundation Repairs. Our number is 972-484-1200. Our motto is to do the right thing. In some respects, it's hard being the company that always does the right thing. But for our customers' sake, it's very important that we do. Being fully insured, as an example, costs us a lot of money, but it protects our customers. Having employees instead of day laborers is a huge responsibility, but our dedicated employees ensure that we do the best repairs we can. Managing a large office staff can be tedious, but they provide our customers a helpful voice when they need something urgent. Returning every phone call is time-consuming, but instills our customers with confidence that we will always be there when they need us. The Aggie Code of Honor states that Aggies don't lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those that do. That code was the principle our company was founded on, and it guides our daily operations. If this sounds like the kind of company you could trust to repair your foundation, call us today for a free evaluation at 972-484-1200 or click structuredfoundation.com.
There was a lot to love about your timeshare, but when it's time to get out, there's a lot to love about resortrelease.com. Resortrelease.com helps timeshare owners terminate their contracts and end all future payments guaranteed. Imagine how great it would feel to end all legal responsibility and never pay another timeshare fee. If you've tried to sell your timeshare, you know how impossible it can feel. Our 100% guarantee lets you legally and permanently walk away or you pay nothing. ResortRelease.com holds a Better Business Bureau A+ rating. We're the only timeshare cancellation company in the nation with their prestigious accreditation. Act now and avoid 2016's maintenance fees. Talk to one of ResortRelease.com's trusted expert asset managers and see if your property qualifies at 800-281-9595. That's 800-281-9595. Experience ResortRelease.com's easy cancellation process and free yourself from the burden of that timeshare. Call 800-281-9595. 800-281-9595 or visit resortrelease.com.
You've been thinking about switching to solar. Don't wait much longer or you'll miss out on this year's federal tax credit. Move quickly because the tide is turning. Solar power is becoming a threat to big energy profits. In fact, some power companies are even pushing for extra fees to make up for lost revenue. Warning, you must have your solar system up and running by midnight December 31st or you'll miss out on this year's federal tax credit. Energy prices are expected to increase by as much as 40% in the near future. Go solar now with no down payment, interest, or payments for a whole year. You can afford it because we finance. Get your government money and save big every month. Big Energy is getting nervous and the door of opportunity is about to slam shut. Paying $150 a month or more on energy bills? Then call 1-800-MY-SOLAR now for a free in-home assessment. 1-800-MY-SOLAR.
My home, my savings, 1-800-MY-SOLAR.
Growth can be an intimidating 6-letter word, especially when the guys upstairs want 7% of it. That's why you need one 8-letter word, Granger. Granger. The G is for growth. From industry specialists to over 1 million products across almost every category, Granger has the resources to help us grow. Now, can you guess what my favorite 4-letter word is? WORK. Let's get back to it. Get it? Got it? Good. Call clickgranger.com or stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. Susan Hewlett offered up a brief prayer. She stood outside a Planned Parenthood clinic this afternoon. Father, forgive us for letting this happen, she said. America has abandoned its weakest, she said. This is not the United States here. This is not American society here. This is monstrous evil here. There is no parsing, no spinning, no misdirection. You'll notice that today was the first day that nobody was complaining about the organization that shot these videos. And the reason is because you cannot blame the messenger. Can't kill the messenger on this one. Planned Parenthood needs to be relegated to the past, like the Spanish Inquisition. Perhaps more appropriate, the Cultural Revolution. That was when Red China slaughtered so many of their people, led by Chairman Mao. Millions of Americans have now seen disturbing videos showing Planned Parenthood officials. By the way, if you don't have a strong stomach, don't watch this third one. Don't do it. I did it because it's my job. You don't have to do it because I did my job. Don't do it. It is a defining moment in the value of life. What we haven't heard from Planned Parenthood is a response to perhaps the biggest revelation, that its providers alter abortion procedures in order to gain certain parts in demand. There are a lot of people that are pro-life that have been savaged in the mainstream media. The mainstream media owes every single one of those people a huge apology. One of them is Representative Martha Roby. I've been very outspoken about this issue alongside my pro-life colleagues in the House and Senate because we cannot allow the media to sweep it under the rug, and man, they are trying. These revelations warrant a serious investigation, even a criminal one. The Attorney General said that the Department of Justice is going to review the matter. Review the matter for what? Has a law been broken? Pursue it. Put it in front of a jury. Let them decide. Put it in front of a grand jury and see if they need to be billed. And if they need to be billed, try them. And if they are guilty, send them to flaming prison. We can't have another moment of government support for Planned Parenthood. Not one moment. We must decide in this nation, right this minute, when life begins, and close this chapter, this horror, once and for all. When does life begin? Ends every bit of this. This is the Wells Report.
Good news from Dynavite. New No More Flea Flea and Tick Spray kills fleas and ticks with no poison. New No More Flea is totally safe for dogs, cats, puppies, kittens, kids, babies crawling on the carpet, and even you. Because it's made from vegetable oil. No More Flea dissolves the hard shell of a flea or tick on contact, so the moist insides of that flea or tick just dry up.
No fleas.
No more flea instantly. No more ticks soon thereafter. Best of all, no more poison ever. So as of today, you can stop using imidacloprid, moxidectin, pyrethrin, and all those other flea and tick poisons. Get all the grisly nitty-gritty about fleas and ticks, or before your beloved pet ventures out in the backyard again, order a 30 or 60-day supply of new No More Flea. Just click the pic of the dead flea on Dynavite.com.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
Hi, this is Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report with Walt Parker here from InvestingMakesMeSick.com. Walt, I was looking at your new website. I've got to admit, I'm impressed.
We keep telling people there's more to investing than just stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities. Our new website is full of information about these alternative investments. You need to understand your investments. We also provide our We Come to You service and spend the time necessary to help people know they have other options than just stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities. Website is great, but nothing beats a face-to-face discussion to help you with your investment decisions.
Most people say they listen to your ads for 2 years before calling. Don't wait 2 years. Call Walt right now, 972-463-3833. That's 972-463-3833, or visit their new website at InvestingMakesMeSick.com. All investments involve risk. Investments may be considered speculative and incur substantial fees and expenses borne by the investor. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated.
The Good Contractors List is a free service designed to protect you. We meet all of our home service contractors face-to-face and feel so confident in our final choices that we back their work with a $10,000 guarantee. We go the extra mile in our interview process to make sure that the contractor is not only honest in quality, but able to offer the most affordable and fair rates. For instance, how do you pick who you call for air conditioning? Did you know that the air conditioning industry is commonly known for misdiagnosis and unneeded upselling? The higher their overhead, the more money they need to stay in business. So they flash tempting offers to get their foot in the door, and the sales game is on. The air conditioning companies we choose are simply stable and proven companies that offer the highest quality at fair and honest rates. And to protect you, they've all agreed to do an absolutely free second opinion if you're being told that you have to replace your air conditioning unit. If you need AC or any other type of home service, visit thegoodcontractorslist.com first.
Contractors List. Hey everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at ViaScan of Las Colinas. We're always concerned about heart disease and cancer, and we should be. You ever hear those stories about the first sign that somebody had of heart problems when they died of a heart attack? The first evidence of any kind of cancer was after it was too big to be operable. Early detection is everything. Information is power, and honestly, sometimes information is survival. This is what ViaScan of Las Colinas is all about. ViaScan of Las Colinas. My friend John Duncan and the gang with the body scan, the well-view scan, they call it, all the vital organs there between the shoulder and the pelvis, making sure there's no heart plaques or blockages, no little cancer spots that could rise up and take you down. This is affordable, preventive healthcare. It is not uncomfortable. It is not claustrophobic. It's fantastic. I love it, and I love the information. It's good to know what's going on inside your body. Be ViaScan certain. 972-739-2840, 972-739-2840, or just Google ViaScan.
Warning, if you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Debt Relief Advocates now. 1-800-500-8980. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Debt Relief Advocates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-500-8980. That's 1-800-500-8980. 1-800-500-8980.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Mark Davis will be here tomorrow morning, bright and early, for the Wednesday edition of the Mark Davis Show. You should not miss it. Not at all. And here's why.
Hey, JD, good Tuesday night. Listen, are there some glimmers of hope before us here? A CNN poll shows America's distaste for the Iran nuclear deal. Ambassador John Bolton joins us 8:05 to discuss. And the third Planned Parenthood video gives further opportunities to shed light on the carnage of the abortion industry. Are these moments in time that can lead us to clarity on the world stage and on protecting the unborn? These and any items of overnight news, we're ready to tackle them tomorrow morning, Wednesday, Mark Davis Show, 7 to 10, right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
Thanks very much, Mark. I appreciate it. So a while back, there was this need in Dallas to build a convention center hotel. You know why? Well, there were a lot of reasons why. Some people that I really, really liked. Tom Leppert, then mayor of the city of Dallas. Some guys that really I have just huge respect for to this day, assured me that that we needed to have a world-class convention destination in Dallas. And so we needed to build a convention center hotel. To which I replied, if there needs to be a convention center hotel, wouldn't it follow that if you give somebody a tax break, some hotel company that does that for a living, if you would give them a tax break, then they would build a hotel and taxpayers in Dallas County wouldn't have to be sat there holding the bag? And they said, well, it's not going to be done that way because what we want to do is essentially force the issue what will happen is that we'll get a contract from one of these hotel operating companies to operate the hotel. And you'll get a piece of the action and so on and so on. Right. But you own the property and you own the building and you put in all the infrastructure and somebody else is using it mainly for free so that you can what? Have a convention center hotel. Right. Okay. Now, that was back a while, and I had moved here from Las Vegas, Nevada, which is the apex predator when it comes to any kind of convention. Any kind of convention. If you want to have a great time at your convention, Las Vegas, and everybody knows it. Now, there might be times when there isn't anybody, you can't get into a convention center. The LVCVA doesn't have a place for you because they're that busy. And so you might need to have a convention in another place besides Las Vegas for whatever reason. But what ends up happening is that there are a lot of people that have places to have secondary tiers of convention destinations. And I would argue that probably Dallas is one of those. But all I can say is that since we've had the Convention Center Hotel and since we put this all together, this convention center, we've had a few conventions in town. I don't know whether they justify the Convention Center Hotel. If you live in Dallas and you believe that the Convention Center Hotel has been completely justified, call me on the telephone and tell me why. I do not have any idea why. Well, actually, I do, because essentially we're caught holding the bag. But I don't know why we allow what is happening right this minute to happen in Dallas, Texas. What is that, you might ask? Well, if you're asking that question, it's because you have not watched any of the local news shows. But the Dallas Convention Center is playing host to, crazily enough, a convention, which is okay, I guess. I mean, after all, that's why we built the Convention Center Hotel. That's why we decided to put all this together in this nice little package. So we have this wonderful convention center destination for people to come and spend time with us. Well, they're doing it. And you know what it is? It is Exotica. Exotica. It's a 3-day expo which calls itself the largest adult event in the USA dedicated to love and sex. It's going to kick off in Dallas a week from Friday. There will be seminars, performances, questions and answers about the sex industry, meet and greets with dozens of, that's right, porn stars. As you can imagine, there are all kinds of people that are just absolutely thrilled that we have this convention center that can draw such fantastic conventions to our city and state. Like, for example, the Dallas Women's Foundation. They wrote a letter to Mayor Mike Rawlings. They copied that letter to female elected leaders and heads of the Convention and Visitors Bureau and Chamber of Commerce, inquiring about the decision to rent the city-owned convention center to Exotica, the largest adult event in the USA dedicated to love and sex. This, by the way, did get Mayor Mike Rawlings' serious attention. He's going, they did what? What? You can read all about this, by the way, in the Dallas Morning News. The article is superb. It was written by Elizabeth Findell. The foundation leadership argues the event will feature numerous enterprises that contribute to the sex trade industry and undermines efforts against human trafficking. I think that might be a stretch. I think if what they said is that it will feature numerous enterprises that contribute to the sex trade industry, I think that's probably enough. Because I believe that human trafficking, having spent a little bit of time seeing it firsthand and seeing the effects firsthand and the horrors firsthand, believe me, human trafficking leaves the porn industry so far behind, it's not close. It's like comparing an ISIS slaughter to a bad cold. Rawlings agreed. In comments, his office has been sent a few people. He agreed, and in comments, his office had been sent to a few people who had expressed concerns. He had asked city staff whether it was possible to stop the event. I am particularly worried about the message that our playing host to this convention might send regarding our city's position on the sexual exploitation of women, which is exactly what the mayor should have said. That is exactly the right way of looking at this. Rawlings said city attorneys advised him the city could not deny use of the convention center solely based on the content of a planned event because things are screwed up in America right now, and apparently morality, good taste, ethics, and so on and so forth hold absolutely no sway as far as sex is concerned. If sex is concerned, it's Katie, unbar the door. Rawlings said the only thing worse than hosting the expo would be getting sued by the organizers and having to pay them. Exotica director Jay Handy, that's not a joke, that's his name, declined to respond to critiques of the event, saying he respected everybody's opinion. Handy said the expo occurs a few times a year in cities all over the country, and a first trip to Dallas was next on the list as we spread the good news about wanton, exploitative, everybody involved, sexarundo. Other cities hosting the expo this year are Chicago and Edison, New Jersey. Boy, there's a convention destination for you. Edison, New Jersey. Hey, you haven't lived until you've gone to Edison, New Jersey and watched a glob of pollution dissolve. The event has had strong early interest in Dallas. It typically draws upwards of 15,000 people over 3 days. He called it a major draw to have over 150 film stars, an entertainment stage, a seminar stage, and over 100 vendors. What in hell are they going to be vending? We've gotten a lot of great response by way of ticket sales. Obviously, this is not your typical event. Daily admission to the expo, get this, runs $39.99, or the obligatory $69.99 for a VIP package with entry to after parties. The truly dedicated can get all that for 3 days for $140. This is the kind of business that our convention center is drumming up? Really? This is the kind of convention business we're drumming up at the fabulous Dallas Convention Center and Convention Center Hotel? Well, you see, I guess now I understand why they needed a hotel. I mean, where are you going to try the products from 100 vendors from Exotica? Like I said, I lived in Las Vegas for 12 years. Believe me, everything that you think happens in Las Vegas all the time. Day, night, weekday, weekends. It's all there all the time. And when they have one of these parties, well, let's put it this way. There's a reason why you have to be 21 to get in. And I think that's fine for Las Vegas. I don't have any problem with an adult Disneyland. If you want to go out and have fun, if you want to enjoy yourself, if you want to be able to live like a sophisticated adult for a while and just have a ball, go to Las Vegas. But don't import Las Vegas to Dallas. How much money would it take for this organization to put into the coffers of the city of Dallas to undo all the damage that this is doing? Think about this for just a minute. Okay? We have Texas Women's University here. We got SMU happening right down the road from this place, from this convention. SMU. Everybody's really, really concerned that these people have the access to all of the things that America grants access to people. Everybody wants to have access for the sex shows and so on and so forth, but what about those of us who don't want them here? Do we count at all? I assure you, we are in the majority. And to me, this is kind of the point. This could be anything. I'm not a prude. I'm not. This could be anything. This could be anything that is contrary to the community, its wants, its wishes, and its standing. This could be any of that. But what I'm trying to tell you is that more than anything, we need to make sure that the majority of us who believe this kind of stuff is ridiculous realizes that we can stand up, we can say what we want to say, and our points of view are at least as valid as the sex merchants. This is the Wells Report.
Sean Hannity believes the establishment GOP is the reason why Donald Trump has risen in the polls.
That's what this has become, a weak and timid and visionless Washington Republican establishment. And it's now hit a tipping point. Dovetails perfectly into an analysis of why you see the meteoric rise of Donald Trump.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Today, let's talk about the $29 service call gimmick. Here in North Texas, an experienced service tech costs at least $35 an hour to employ. So how does the $29 service call work? Well, it doesn't unless they find a bunch of stuff wrong with your system. It's just bait to get you to call. We can't come out for $29, and really, neither can they. In this business, you get what you pay for. Reliant Air Conditioning service call is $79, and our guys are all drug tested, background checked, and they don't work on commission. So if you need service on your AC system, call the company that's been gimmick-free since '83. Or if your system needs to be replaced, you can save up to $3,500 per system with Carrier's Cool Cash promotion. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Summertime. Kids are out of school. It's vacations all around, but let's get very serious about the fall and next year and the rest of your financial life. Here's an opportunity at the end of July, July 31st, August 1st, in fact, to get into the latest new venture on Wall Street seminars. Hey, Mark Davis, I've done this and I loved it. It has helped me enormously. NVOWS.com.
the website for New Venture on Wall Street, NVOWS.com. See what they do. Pastor David Mitchell's plan on helping you get into the stock market and understand it a little better, be a little smarter, invest a little more wisely, retire earlier, get a second income stream. There's a seminar in Fort Worth at the Norris Conference Center on Houston Street, another in Richardson on East Campbell Road at the Hyatt Regency. Take your pick, July 31st, August 1st, and call and get yourself a seat right now. 877-907-TRADE. 877-907-TRADE. New Venture on Wall Street. Learn about it at NVOWS.com. NVOWS.com, then get your seat now at 877-907-TRADE, 877-907-TRADE.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-573-2467. That's 1-800-573-2467. 1-800-573-2467. Or go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Are you half Irish, a quarter Italian? With Ancestry DNA, you can find new and fascinating details about your ethnic origins. And from now until Saturday, Ancestry DNA is offering an unheard of discount off DNA kits when you visit tryancestry.dna.com. It's the lowest price ever for Ancestry DNA. Connect with distant relatives around the world. Visit tryancestry.dna.com now through Saturday. It's only at tryancestry.dna.com. That's TRY Ancestry.dna.com.
Well, the reality is that with the Solvent bed, you get a much better bed from the standpoint of quality, durability, at a price that is comparable to any bed out there. Solvent bed has a better warranty. It's a 10-year full warranty. You get a bed that is custom tailored, so you're going to have something that is specifically appropriate for you, how you sleep, your size, your weight. Your primary sleeping position is extremely important in the mix. Solvent European Sleep Systems, Inwood and Lovers in Dallas. Learn more at sovn.com.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report. A daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. The National Security Agency, the NSA, has announced it will purge all phone data collected during the operation of its expiring bulk surveillance system by the start of next year, pending ongoing litigation, according to the government. As soon as possible, NSA will destroy the Section 215 bulk telephony metadata upon expiration of its litigation preservation obligations. This according to the Office of Director of National Intelligence, referring to a provision of the Patriot Act that was said in a statement. Analytic access to those records, which go back 5 years, will end November 29th. They will be destroyed 3 months later. The decision comes as a victory for privacy advocates who worried that the winding down of the mass surveillance program under a reform law enacted earlier this year could have allowed the NSA to continue to access phone records it already had collected. The phone dragnet was the first and most controversial program exposed by Edward Snowden 2 years ago. Last month, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court revived the program after it briefly lapsed amid a standoff on Capitol Hill involving the renewal of lapsed spying provisions of the Patriot Act. The court said the June enactment of the NSA reform measure known as the USA Freedom Act allowed for a 6-month transition period under which NSA could continue bulk collection. On November 29, the NSA will switch to a more limited system under which analysts can request phone metadata, the numbers and duration of calls, but not their contents, from phone companies on an as-needed basis. At the same time, according to Monday's statement, access to previously collected records will cease. Now, keep something in mind. All of this information is still going to be collected. but it's not going to be collected by the the government. So it says in fine print. We're watching them. This is the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hello?
Hi, is this Amy?
Speaking.
This is Steve from LifeLock, calling about your response to the alert we sent for a credit application at a store in Portland.
Yes? That wasn't me. I'm in Tampa.
I understand. I'm going to work with you to help you resolve this, okay?
Thanks, Steve. I feel better already.
LifeLock detects threats to your finances, alerts you to danger, and helps restore your identity if anything's found. And with LifeLock Ultimate Plus, you get protection for your bank accounts, investments, even the equity in your home. Look, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor transactions at every business, but LifeLock Ultimate Plus provides comprehensive identity theft protection. Visit LifeLock.com now and enter promo code AWARE or call and mention AWARE to save 10% on your LifeLock Ultimate Plus membership. Call 800-838-6010. 800-838-6010. 800-838-6010.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to urinate? Well, you're not alone. Most men will experience these prostate-related issues in their lifetime. Right now, the manufacturer of GoFlow Prostate is sending out risk-free supplies to the listeners of this station. And since GoFlow was developed by renowned MD Dr. Mitchell Fleischer, its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce frequent nighttime bathroom trips and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait, because supplies are limited. Call 1-800-668-0074. That's 1-800-668-0074 to get your risk-free supply. GoFlow Prostate is guaranteed to reduce your frequent trips to the bathroom and promote healthy urine flow. Plus, if you call right now, you'll even get free shipping with your risk-free supply of GoFlow Prostate. Dial 1-800-667-5138. Don't delay. If the phones are busy, call back. 1-800-667-5138. 1-800-667-5138.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio. I'm Steve Rappaport. Lawmakers grilling Obama administration officials over the Iran nuclear deal.
We're presuming Iran is going to change its behavior. That behavior did not change last weekend when they were chanting again, death to America.
House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman, Republican Ed Royce. Secretary of State John Kerry argues the nuclear deal is not about trust, but about verification.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell upholding the 4-game suspension for Patriots quarterback Tom Brady.
A league statement said Brady destroyed a cell phone believed to contain text messages linking him to a plan to deflate footballs used in January's AFC title game. The NFL Players Association says it will appeal, adding that the ruling is based on a smokescreen of irrelevant texts and that the decision is a new low for the league.
Fox Radio's Gernal Scott. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Stimulating talk, 660 AM, The Answer. Are you ready to experience Israel?
Every once in a while, an opportunity to do something truly special comes along. An opportunity for an unforgettable and timely expedition to the land of Israel. This year, be a part of the Stand with Israel tour. Spend 9 days this fall in the fascinating and dramatic land of Israel with Mike Gallagher and Dennis Prager. Enjoy first-class accommodations and meals in comfort and safety. Visit 660amtheanswer.com for all the details and to register now. That's 660amtheanswer.com.
This is Albert Moeller for townhall.com. The recent release of a series of videos showing the senior staff of Planned Parenthood casually discussing the sale of organs from aborted babies is a moral challenge thrown right in the face of all Americans. The initially released video reveals Dr. Deborah Nukutola, Senior Director of Medical Services for Planned Parenthood, discussing the intentional harvesting of organs and other tissues from babies aborted in Planned Parenthood clinics. While casually reaching with her fork for salad, Dr. Nukutola openly tells a group she believes to be medical researchers that there is a great demand for fetal livers. But she said, a lot of people want intact hearts these days. Dr. Nukutola went on to explain in chilling detail that abortionists often plan in advance how to harvest desired organs. The horrifying knowledge of harvested baby hearts must lead to our own broken hearts. A nation that will allow this will allow anything.
This isn't a commercial. It's a gift to anyone who's sick and tired of dealing with their hearing loss. Because we'll give everyone who calls a risk-free trial of a life-changing hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear. Not only that, we'll also give you free shipping and free batteries for life. But you must call now. 1-800-943-2757. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Listen Clear is so invisible, people may not even know you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. So if you're sick of dealing with your hearing loss, let us give you a 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-943-2757. That's 1-800-943-2757. 1-800-943-2757.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
I'm a mother. When my kids were growing up, I can't tell you how many times they had a cold, an ear, or sinus infection. I already knew it was the same thing one of the other kids had 3 months before. Could I get a doctor to call me at home? No, I had to take off work or worse, bundle all the other kids and go to the doctor's office. Well, not anymore. RealMedSavings.com is like a discount club for healthcare. At RealMedSavings.com, you just call the 800 number and a board-certified doctor calls you back in about 15 minutes, talks to you about what it is, and then calls in a prescription if it's needed. You pay nothing for this doctor's call because you're a member of the club. RealMedSavings.com is not insurance, just real savings on everyday medical problems for your whole family. Go to RealMedSavings.com. Save money and time. RealMedSavings.com. It's worth going there.
Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells, here for my friend Walt Parker and InvestingMakesMeSick.com. I've had the very good fortune of getting to know Walt and all the people at InvestingMakesMeSick.com. I've known them for several years, and believe me, these people are people you want to get to know. Walt, everybody seems to want to offer the same old stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities. Tell us what's the difference with what you do.
What we do is educate people and let them know that there is more to investing than the same old, same old. We're in exciting times right now with alternative investment opportunities that can give our clients.
Pastors do a lot of things. They keep us mentally. Let me try it again. Pastors do a lot of things for us. They keep us spiritually happy. They try to help us in times of great difficulty. And from time to time, they baptize our children. Pastors do a lot of things for us. They help us spiritually. They keep our house. Pastors do a lot of things for us. They help us keep let me try it again. Pastors sure do a lot of things for us. They keep us healthy and happy spiritually. They make sure that we enjoy all the sacraments of whatever religion they happen to be practicing. They give us baptisms for our children, and occasionally they have baptisms of fire. Yeah, in Baytown, there was a pastor who shot a guy, and I'm going to tell you the whole story next time on the Wells Report.
About to slam shut. Paying $150 a month or more on energy bills? Then call 1-800-MySolar now for a free in-home assessment. 1-800-MySolar.
My home, my savings, 1-800-MySolar.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. As you know, as was reported here on the Wells Report yesterday, the Boy Scouts of America ended its blanket ban on gay adult scout leaders, but allowed church-sponsored scout units to maintain the exclusion for religious reasons, daring the LGBT community to start filing lawsuits against churches. The new policy, aimed at easing a controversy that has embroiled the Boy Scouts for years, takes effect immediately. It was approved by the BSA's National Executive Board on a 45-12 vote during a closed-to-the-media teleconference. The reason it was closed to the media is because this is something that the Boy Scouts have been trying to get done for years. They have been trying to introduce gay sexuality into the Boy Scouts forever, and they have finally succeeded. Many of us who couldn't fathom that the Boy Scouts would want any of this to happen were dumbstruck when we found out that the people we were fighting were the people running the Boy Scouts. I respectfully disentangled myself from support of the Boy Scouts because I was pretty sure then, and I'm even more sure now, that they have lost their way. The BSA, in an intellectually dishonest statement, said, "This change allows scouting members and parents to select local units chartered to organizations with similar beliefs that best meet the needs of their families." Okay, if you say so. It certainly does offer scouting families a choice that they may not have realized that they had. A choice to either participate in an organization that wants to ensure contact with your sons with gay people, or not. Okay. This change also respects the right of religious chartered organizations to choose adult volunteer leaders whose beliefs are consistent with their own. Again, daring the LGBT community to go ahead and sue the churches. Initial reactions to the decision from groups on both sides suggest that the issue will remain divisive, and it will. The Mormon Church, which surprisingly went along with the idea of allowing gay scouts into their organizations, they sponsor more scout units than any other, said it was deeply troubled by the decision. Church officials now suggest that they are looking into the possibility of forming their own organization to replace the Boy Scouts of America. The admission of openly gay leaders is inconsistent with the doctrines of the church and what have been traditionally the values of the Boy Scouts of America, according to the Mormon headquarters in Salt Lake City. In contrast, the Human Rights Campaign, a national LGBT rights organization, said the Boy Scouts should not allow church-sponsored units to continue excluding gays. Discrimination should have no place at the Boy Scouts, period, said the HRC's president, Chad Griffin. BSA officials should now demonstrate true leadership and begin the process of considering a full national policy of inclusion. The Boy Scouts can do that all they want to. But the churches will not participate. Not the Mormon Church, not the Catholic Church, Not the Southern Baptist Convention. Not other churches. What you are doing, Mr. Chad Griffin and the Human Rights Campaign, is you are destroying scouting in the United States. Because nothing is more important than your sexuality. Nothing. There is no place in the Boy Scouts of America for sexuality of any kind. If people can't leave their sexuality at home, they have no business having access to Boy Scouts. And it doesn't make any difference what sexuality that is. Several denominations that collectively sponsor half of all scouting units have been apprehensive about ending the ban on gay adults. The BSA's top leaders have pledged to defend the right of any church-sponsored units to continue excluding gays as adult volunteers, but that assurance has not satisfied more conservative church leaders. It's hard for me to believe in the long term that the Boy Scouts will allow religious groups to have the freedom to choose their own leaders, said the Reverend Russell Moore, president of the Southern Baptist Convention's Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission. In recent years, I have seen a definite cooling on the part of Baptist churches toward the Scouts. This will probably bring that cooling to a freeze. A more nuanced response came from the National Catholic Committee on Scouting, which expressed interest in maintaining its ties, but also voiced concerns. Notably, it conveyed a reluctance to accept participation by anyone engaged in sexual conduct outside of a heterosexual marriage. Stuart Upton, a lawyer for the LGBT rights group Lambda Legal, questioned whether BSA's new policy to let church-sponsored units continues to exclude gay adults would be sustainable. There will be a period of time where they will have legal protection, said Upton, but that doesn't mean the lawsuits won't keep coming. They will become increasingly marginalized from the direction the society is going. No, they won't. They just won't participate in scouting. And then you will say that these churches are all racist and horrifyingly bigoted. And the only people that will suffer will be the kids. 50% of the Boy Scouts will go right out the window. 50%. That's a hell of an achievement. Well done. Making the world safe for gay scoutmasters so that half of all scouting families will look for alternatives. And then you'll attack them. Because, heck, if you can take down the Boy Scouts, why not the Girl Scouts? And why not Trail Life? And why not any of these other organizations? Because nothing is more important than your sexuality. Nothing. Nothing is more important than who you go to bed with and why. Four former Boy Scouts are suing the Boy Scouts of America over alleged abuse by their troop leader. They have won the release of secret perversion files kept by the organization. This is according to NJ.com. True Jersey, it's a news organization. The ruling from a state judge in Hackensack is an apparent first in New Jersey. Will provide thousands of records the Boy Scouts have kept on leaders suspected of sexual misconduct. The record said that the officials of the Boy Scouts have said they would comply with the ruling and release troves of newer documents not covered by previous rulings. As reported by NJ Advanced Media, Stephen Corcoran, 47 years old, of Morris Plains, a former longtime leader of the Parsippany-based Boy Scout Troop 173, has been accused of sexually assaulting scouts at his home and on camping trips when they were teenagers in the 1990s. On September 18, 2012, the Morris County Prosecutor's Office began investigating allegations that Corcoran, who was an assistant scout leader and an advisor to the Eagle Scouts between 1997 to 1999, sexually abused scouts. The investigation was initially prompted by two former members of Troop 173 coming forward. Are we going to see more of this or less of this with this new policy from the Boy Scouts? Just a question. The prosecutor's office was one that said one of the victims indicated that Corcoran sexually assaulted him on multiple occasions before he was 16. Both victims referenced an incident that happened in the summer of 1999 in which Corcoran and the Scouts allegedly engaged in a threesome. Corcoran was charged in December 2012 with aggravated sexual assault, endangering the welfare of a child, and 4 counts of sexual assault in connection with the incident. Earlier that year, he was also charged with possession of child pornography after a man he invited to his home told police he had seen pornographic images of minors on Corcoran's personal computer. I wonder what that guy was doing at Corcoran's house. Probably comparing merit badges, I'll guess. In November 2012, a civil suit was filed against the Boy Scouts of America and Patriots Path Council in Bergen County Superior Court in connection with the same incidents of alleged abuse, including the threesome. The suit, which identifies the plaintiff only as Jack Doe, blames the organizations for putting Corcoran in a position of authority over the victims. You see, step one is to get the Boy Scouts to cave on introducing sexuality to the Boy Scouts. That will get rid of half of the scouting moms and dads and sons. What will get rid of the other half of scouting will be all of these lawsuits, very similar to this one. I'm casting no aspersions on these supposed new scout leaders. I'm just saying that the chances are better or not better that young men are going to be introduced to homosexuality through the Boy Scouts of America, that this is going to happen or not going to happen. Which is more likely? How do you feel about this? You're listening to the Wells Report. Back with more in just a moment.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List, and this is the Good Contractors List Word of the Month. I love a good, encouraging, positive message, but some days there just isn't enough times you can look in the mirror and say to yourself, this is going to be a great day. Some days are just not fun. On those days, you can focus on the problem.
Checking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have you heard of the Syrian 60? These are rebel fighters trained by the United States of America. Do you know how much money we spent? $4 million each. $4 million worth of training for each of 60 soldiers. These Syrian rebel fighters went through exhaustive training, and then they were asked to sign pledges of loyalty to the United States of America. Do you know what happened next? Have you ever heard of the Syrian 60? These are 60 rebel fighters from Syria that wanted to fight Bashar al-Assad. And that's why the United States of America spent $4 million on each of those 60 Syrian rebel fighters to train them in the ways of combat that would be effective against these horrifying people. Do you know what happened to these guys? Well, neither does anybody else. Yeah, they sort of kind of vanished. Why? How? I'll tell you next time on the Wells Report. Mark Davis, you amazing human being, you. Thank you very much for letting me drop by and say hi. Coming up later on tonight on the Wells Report, we're going to be talking about the fabulous Syrian 60. That's right. 60 Syrian rebel fighters that were trained by the United States to the tune of $4 million apiece. That's right. $240 million spent on these guys. And after they were trained, they were asked to sign a piece of paper pledging their loyalties to the United States of America. And do you know what they did? Well, neither do I. Neither does anybody, because they're all gone. They've vanished. They've disappeared. I have a pretty good idea why, and I'm going to share that with you next time on the Wells Report.
Usually scramble to incorporate or form an LLC. To make it quick and easy, Incorporate.com is now giving away a free incorporation guide to all business owners, so you can incorporate in just 10 minutes. For your free 10-minute incorporation guide, call now, 1-800-733-1035. Protect your financial future. At Incorporate.com, they don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. Call now for your free 10-minute incorporation guide. 1-800-733-1035. Hurry while supplies last. 1-800-733-1035. That's 1-800-733-1035.
Summertime. Kids are out of school. It's vacations all around, but let's get very serious about the fall and next year and the rest of your financial life. Here's an opportunity at the end of July 31st, August 1st, in fact, to get into the latest New Venture on Wall Street seminars. Hey, Mark Davis, I've done this and I loved it. It has helped me enormously. NVOWS.com, the website for New Venture on Wall Street. NVOWS.com. See what they do. Pastor David Mitchell's plan on helping you get into the stock market and understand it a little better, be a little smarter, invest a little more wisely, retire earlier, get a second income stream. There's a seminar in Fort Worth at the Norris Conference Center on Houston Street, another in Richardson on East Campbell Road at the Hyatt Regency. Take your pick, July 31st, August 1st, and call and get yourself a seat right now. 877-907-TRADE. 877-907-TRADE. New Venture on Wall Street. Learn about it at NVOWS.com. NVOWS.com, then get your seat now at 877-907-TRADE, 877-907-TRADE.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-573-2467. That's 1-800-573-2467. 1-800-573-2467. Or go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
660 AM. The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
Yeehaw! You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. The Boy Scouts of America are in what may be an irreversible decline. They have a decade-long losing streak, highlighted in 2013 by a 6% decline in membership, which was only surpassed last year by a 7.4% decline in membership. Now, remember, this was before the Boy Scouts of America had decided that they were going to allow openly gay scoutmasters. Do you suppose the decline is going to stop because of this? Boy Scouts have said that what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to increase the amount of technology that the kids are exposed to. What kind of technology is that going to be? Just asking. I suppose that the churches could look at this and say, hey, you know, with gay kids coming into the church-based scouting groups, that this would be a good thing. But now the churches are going to have to say, okay, well, the lawsuit is just a matter of time. And they're simply going to abandon the scouts. After the 2013 decision to admit gay youth, many conservatives split from the Boy Scouts to form a new group, Trail Life USA, which has created its own ranks, badges, and uniforms. The group claims a membership of more than 25,000 youths and adults. Is that going to increase or decrease? What do you suppose? At the end of all of this comes what I think is a fair question. Is nothing more important than the full acceptance of gay life by everyone, regardless of religion or any personal beliefs held by any particular individual? Is there anything more important than the full-on acceptance of sexuality that is irreligious? The Boy Scouts of America are going to be a distant memory in 10 years because of all of this. Just like the Episcopal Church of the United States, distant memory, an obsolete church that took itself right out of relevance. So interesting to see all my Episcopal buddies in Catholic Church now. Are we all bigots? Are we all haters? Or do we believe there's something more important than someone's sexuality? Is it okay to think that there's something more important than someone's sexuality? Is that even possible anymore? Should it be possible anymore? You're listening to The Wells Report.
The Mike Gallagher Show.
The Arizona Cardinals will make history this summer as they've hired the first female coach in NFL history. Also, what do disgraced comic Bill Cosby and former President Bill Clinton have in common? One famous feminist claims more than you think. And is former Daily Show host Jon Stewart providing advice to the Obama administration?
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 10, right before Dennis Prager at noon on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Sample comes with a 90-day order. Copays and deductibles may apply.
If you or someone you care for are using painful urinary catheters, Medical Direct Club can help. There's a new catheter that hurts less, and you can get a free sample with free shipping by calling now. Pain and urinary tract infections can be avoided if you're using urinary catheters. The new disposable catheters from Medical Direct Club hurt less due to an incredible new design that reduces pain by gliding easily and effortlessly. Old catheters can scrape and cut, causing pain and infection. These new catheters from Medical Direct Club are changing the lives of people who use urinary catheters. Medicare and your insurance will pay for up to 200 of these new catheters per month at little or no cost to you. Medical Direct Club handles all of the paperwork with your doctor and includes lifetime free shipping when you join. Membership and a free sample are free, so call Medical Direct Club now. 1-800-600-6144. That's 1-800-600-6144. End painful cathing today. Call 1-800-600-6144.
I'm Steve Sidkowski, a former Wall Street insider. I'm holding a book that will show you investing strategies which could help you earn the kind of money you've always dreamed about. And right now, I'm giving this book away for free. So who needs to read it? If you're in the middle of your career and worry you'll never have enough money to retire, you need to read this book. If you're already retired and your income isn't enough, you need to read this book. And if you don't want to be selling burgers at 80, you need to read this free book. It includes the strategy I use to make a 72% profit on a trade where the stock only moved 12%. You'll need at least $1 million to ever fully retire. If you're behind on that goal, you really need to read Trade Like the Pros. And you can for free by calling 1-800-708-4557. Skeptical that it will deliver results? It's a free book, so what do you have to lose? Find out how at 1-800-708-4557. 1-800-708-4557.
There was a lot to love about your timeshare, but when it's time to get out, there's a lot to love about ResortRelease.com. ResortRelease.com helps timeshare owners terminate their contracts and end all future payments guaranteed. Imagine how great it would feel to end all legal responsibility and never pay another timeshare fee. If you've tried to sell your timeshare, you know how impossible it can feel. Our 100% guarantee lets you legally and permanently walk away or you pay nothing. ResortRelease.com holds a Better Business Bureau A+ rating. We're the only timeshare cancellation company in the nation with their prestigious accreditation. Act now and avoid 2016's maintenance fees. Talk to one of ResortRelease.com's trusted expert asset managers and see if your property qualifies at 800-281-9595. That's 800-281-9595. Experience ResortRelease.com's easy cancellation process and free yourself from the burden of that timeshare. Call 800-281-9595. 800-281-9595 or visit resortrelease.com.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
Are your medical expenses and insurance costs out of control? There's a way to pay less for the healthcare you need. RealMedSavings.com. It's a membership like a club that lets you access huge networks of medical professionals for a whole lot less money. Real Med Savings even connects you with a board-certified physician anytime, 24 hours a day. The doctor will consult with you, diagnose the condition, and when necessary, call in the prescription. You pay nothing for the doctor's consultation because you're a member. You save money because we've already negotiated discounts on dental, vision, prescription drugs, and much more. Just go to RealMedSavings.com and learn all about it. Real Med Savings is not insurance. You just save real money on your health care for you and your whole family. And it costs less than $1 a day for the whole family. No salesperson will call and there is no long-term commitment. Convenient money-saving health care. RealMedSavings.com.
660 AM, The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. According to Politico, the 2016 presidential election was supposed to be the presidential campaign that ended the dominance of TV ads. If 2004 was about Meetup and 2008 was about Facebook, 2016 is going to be about Meerkat or something just like it, vowed President Obama's ex-communications guru Dan Pfeiffer. Not yet. It's increasingly clear as 24 campaigns and their super PACs plot their strategies. The 2016 will once again be about television. Now, in this, we find a perfect case of the tail wagging the dog. And we only have one person to blame for this. And I bet you can't guess who it is. Between campaigns and independent groups, television ad spending during the 2016 election is projected to top $4.4 billion. That's over $500 million more than in 2012. It's at least 4 times what campaigns and groups are preparing to spend on their online strategies. The extinction of the 30-second political television ad has been predicted as long as that of the bald eagle. In 2011, a columnist for the Daily Beast wrote about the advent of the viral internet video in a piece called The End of the TV Campaign Ad. But that's not what the roughly 24 presidential campaigns are thinking. According to Politico, the bulk of advertising is still going to be on TV. And he's right. It is a proven medium. It's a medium that most campaigns and most consultants are used to. Even though the Iowa caucuses are more than 6 months away, candidates and their affiliated super PACs have already spent more than $10 million on TV ads in the early nominating states and nationally, according to the tracking firm. We are now beginning to see those ads as we get closer to people getting started in really trying to become the president. There's an additional $40 million worth of ads already on the books. That's a figure that includes only 2 major candidates, Hillary Clinton and Marco Rubio. Jeb Bush, Scott Walker, Donald Trump, Rick Perry. All of those other people haven't even started thinking about spending money yet. The continued dominance of television advertising does not mean the campaigns aren't embracing other platforms, but from YouTube to Facebook, campaigns might spend as much in a week as they would on one primetime spot for broadcast TV. Very difficult to spend massive amounts of money on digital, said Elizabeth Wilner, Senior Vice President at Kantar, former NBC News political director. It's cheap. Sure. Digital is cheap. And while more Americans are skipping commercials via digital video recorders or services like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime, most of those younger users are younger Americans who are less likely to vote. Sure. But what about the future? What about the future? What about the future? The old radio sage said behind the microphone. Have you figured out who, by the way, made this amazing foolishness a part of our lives? There's more television being watched now than ever before. It's just being watched in different ways, said Evan Tracy. I still watch live television. I don't spend a whole lot of time watching. I don't watch Hulu or any of those other. I don't watch a lot of. I've got a really good collection of Blu-ray movies, but I hardly ever watch them. I do. I hardly ever watch them. Because I watch live television most of the time. And because of my profession, it's all information TV. It's either sports or news or history. The Smithsonian Channel. I mean, it's a nonstop, it's nonstop preparation for this broadcast. And it's handy. It really, truly is. It's great. I like being able to expose myself to all of this learning. Do I miss entertainment television? Not really. I mean, does it hurt me from a pop culture standpoint? I have no idea. I have no idea. I guess I watched a couple of episodes of NCIS. What's the number one television show now? What's the number one show on television right this minute? It's still NCIS, right? I think I watched one or two. I watched Downton Abbey because it was on Sundays. It's not because I'm a snob. It's because my wife is a snob. Okay?
Don't throw your wife under the bus.
I'm not throwing my wife under the bus. I'm not. Downton Abbey was actually pretty good. except it was melodramatic and it drove me crazy. But here's the thing. I mean, no family in the world could have that much going wrong with it all the time. Everybody was screwed up in that family. It was like watching the Episcopal Church. So many mistakes in such a short amount of time. Anyway, let's see, what was I saying? Oh, no, I was just talking about the fact that well, Susan watches football in the wintertime. Okay, whenever there's NFL football on, she has the remote. So for all those people that say that men are the only people that have remotes, not true. Susan runs the television on the weekends during football season. And that's when Downton Abbey was on, and that's why we watched it. So anyway, television is still this huge, gigantic force in American politics. And I have to be perfectly honest with you, we have a major problem now because of it. You see, in the 80s, the most important thing that we could possibly do for our nation was to deregulate. And deregulation would lead to people voting with their feet. And people voting with their feet would allow the marketplace to thrive, and that would be the ultimate arbiter of what was left. But it didn't work for everything. Like every other one-size-fits-all bromide from the government, we ended up totally screwing up American broadcasting. Were there regulations in American broadcasting? You bet there were. Did they cost people money? Well, yeah. Because the people that started out licensing television stations and radio stations believed that there should be someone, a licensed operator on the premises 24/7, 365. And because of deregulation, during the administration of the great Ronald Reagan, several things happened. One, you did not have to differentiate between news and opinion. And the news commentator was born. And the news commentator took the place of the news anchor. The news anchor was a journalist whose sole purpose in life was to be as transparent a lens as possible to what happened that day and report the news. The news commentator does what I do. We take the news and we determine what it actually means, and we share that with you. People, however, still think it's news. And there is a warpage. We do something that most radio shows don't. We carefully differentiate between the news that we report and the opinions we have of those news stories. But I catch myself making mistakes. But I get most of it right. And I think you know that. That's why you're here. But when we start thinking about what it takes to elect a president and how important that role is, because like it or not, we have learned in this country how important a president can be. You know, the people that are trying to get Jeb Bush elected, the Democrat end of American politics, do you know what they're trying? Do you know what they're calling Jeb Bush? They're trying to elect the next Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt was a progressive. And do you know what progressives do? They destroy everything they touch. Everything. They believe progress is destruction. They believe in clearing the decks and starting over. Can you imagine trying to do that in this nation right now? You lose the nation that way. Like I said, they destroy everything they touch. Is Jeb Bush one of those guys? Probably. Does he think he's doing the right thing? Sure. He'll make his ideas plain soon enough. And we will report that story when it happens. But what I'm concerned about more than anything else are things like what Fox News is doing, determining that they can decide who should be on a primetime debate for President of the United States. We have a huge opportunity in this nation to hear from a lot of different people with a lot of different experience levels, doing a lot of different things. For the first time in my memory, we have solid candidates who are not politicians running for president. Why is this happening? Because professional politicians have absolutely screwed up. And people are looking for an alternative. Television is going to be very huge in this, but right now television has lost its way. It has totally thrown itself on the mercy of fashion. There is no moral compass in fashion. There are no bedrock principles. There's only ever-evolving currents and puffs of wind and whatever happens to be flying around at the moment. Is that what you want to base your decision on the next president of the United States on? Because arguably that's how we got the president that we have now. I would say the answer is no. And so, as we have this conversation very late in the evening on Tuesday night somewhere in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, we have found out tonight that television is going to play a huge role in the selection of our next president. Way too big a role. And the reason it's way too big a role is because we abandoned all of the rules and ethics and belief systems that we had in place that forced these organizations to tell the truth most of the time. And until we get back to that, you're going to have to do more thinking. You're going to have to do more listening to more different places. You're going to have to find news in places that you used to be able to find as easily as turning on your television set. We'll be here, but I wonder how many people will know it. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. We'll finish it up for Tuesday night next. You stay right there.
Bill Bennett's Morning in America.
We asked for a contest. We said maybe to the tune of anything. Quickly to John. Hey, John.
I'll never sing on the air, that's for sure.
Okay, you and me both. Walk like a man as fast as you can. Walk like a man, don't whine. What used to be so large with Hillary in charge is now gone and withered on the vine.
Weekday mornings at 5, right before the Mark Davis Show at 7 on 660 AM. The Answer.
This is Albert Mohler for townhall.com.
The recent release of a series of videos showing the senior staff of Planned Parenthood casually discussing the sale of organs from aborted babies is a moral challenge thrown right in the face of all Americans. The initially released video reveals Dr. Deborah Nukutola, Senior Director of Medical Services for Planned Parenthood, discussing the intentional harvesting of organs and other tissues from babies aborted in Planned Parenthood clinics. While casually reaching with her fork for salad, Dr. Nukutola openly tells a group she believes to be medical researchers that there is a great demand for fetal livers. But she said, a lot of people want intact hearts these days. Dr. Nukutola went on to explain in chilling detail that abortionists often plan in advance how to harvest desired organs. The horrifying knowledge of harvested baby hearts must lead to our own broken hearts. A nation that will allow this will allow anything.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity, one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. Josh averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. Josh's clients voted, and both D Magazine and Texas Monthly ranked him as the best real estate agent in Dallas. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net and start packing.
Frank, I really think we need an American Home Shield home warranty.
But we have homeowners insurance.
I'm worried about our home appliances and systems breaking down, like our air conditioner. Homeowners insurance doesn't cover any of that. A home warranty does.
But homeowners insurance covers stuff that might happen, like a meteor crashing into our house or a Bigfoot attack.
A Bigfoot attack?
There's a Bigfoot outside now.
That's the neighbor's dog.
Sounds like a Bigfoot.
Homeowners insurance can cover the things that might happen, like Bigfoot destroying your home. But an American Home Shield home warranty covers what will happen, like your home systems and appliances breaking down. Protect your budget from covered breakdowns of up to 21 major home systems and appliances, your air conditioner, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-900-9517.
Pretty sure that's a Bigfoot.
For valuable free information about an American Home Shield home warranty, call 1-800-900-9517. That's 1-800-900-9517. 1-800-900-9517.
94.9 KLTY and Dallas Baptist University are excited to welcome A Good Fight Night to Frisco. Friday night, August 14th, 2015 at Elevate Life Church. Fight Night is a fun date for couples of any age or stage. Marriage experts, Dr. Les and Leslie Parrott, interact with you in a night filled with humor and practical new strategies for turning conflict into deeper relationship. They're actually going to show you how conflict can bring you closer together, because if you're like them, you have the occasional cut and you don't want anything to come from that but a bond between you and your spouse. You're going to leave that evening with some fantastic things you can do starting that very night to improve your relationship. Les and Leslie might share a real fight or two of their own to help each of you. Register at FightNightTexas.com. The truth is, we do have distinct differences, and the more we have empathy for each other, the more grace we have for each other. Friday, August 14th, 2015. For more info, visit ElevateLife.com.
We gave Tom 12 seconds to give 6 reasons why he opened a Mathnasium Learning Center franchise.
Okay. Great income potential. Doing good for kids. Doing what I love. Making math make sense to kids. 500 centers open already. 1 every 3 days. Mathnasium taught me the business. Helps me. Supports me.
Time's up. Pretty good. For franchise information, visit mathnasium.com or take the first step right now. Call 855-361-MATH. That's 855-361-6284.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM The
Answer. You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. This is one of my karaoke songs. You know that? It's one of my karaoke songs. So, the idiots involved in who's the people behind the SATs? Who are those people? The College Board? It's the College Board, right? The College Board came up with the SATs and the ACTs, and they were a way for you to determine how you stood intellectually among those whom you went to school with. It was a very important test. I remember walking out of it with my brain completely scrubbed clear of all knowledge and felt horrifyingly terrible when I got my scores, which were not too bad, but let's put it this way. You know that music that they play whenever I start trying to do math or arithmetic? Yeah. That started when I was in high school. Literally, we had a sax section that followed me around. Exactly. Yeah. Well, if you have always felt like you really kind of blew it when it came to the SAT, you can stop worrying about it, especially if you're applying to George Washington University, because they are the largest and most prestigious college to now make SATs obsolete. They don't care anymore. Great. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Stifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is Jon-David Wells. Have a nice night. See you tomorrow for another edition of the Wells Report.
Here it is, Texas summer. Lots of high temperatures, some rain, and some periods of no rain. And put it all together, it makes a real challenge for your soil, your foundation. And if your foundation is doing weird things, or you suspect that it is because you got cracks in the walls or sheetrock or doors that are sticking or floors that don't quite look right, not matching up, call Abacus Foundation Repair. It's the best first call you can make and the only call you need to make. Abacus Foundation Repair. They're going to bring somebody out to map the house with the skill of an engineer, looking for possible causes like plumbing issues so the problem doesn't come back. Let's get on the phone with them right now. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. North Texas homeowners trust Abacus, the only company offering Millennium composite pilings for the strongest foundation solution. They're going to stay with you every step of the way. Work is guaranteed. Certified foundation guy on site at all times. You will be taken care of. It's transferable to new owners. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com. Summertime, kids are out of school, it's vacations all around, but let's get very serious about the fall and next year and the rest of your financial life. Here's an opportunity at the end of July 31st, August 1st, in fact, to get into the latest New Venture on Wall Street seminars. Hey, Mark Davis, I've done this and I loved it. It has helped me enormously. NVOWS.com, the website for New Venture on Wall Street, NVOWS.com. See what they do. Pastor David Mitchell's plan on helping you get into the stock market and understand it a little better, be a little smarter, invest a little more wisely, retire earlier, get a second income stream. There's a seminar in Fort Worth at the Norris Conference Center on Houston Street, another in Richardson on East Campbell Road at the Hyatt Regency. Take your pick, July 31st, August 1st, and call and get yourself a seat right now. 877-907-TRADE. 877-907-TRADE. New Venture on Wall Street. Learn about it at NVOWS.com. NVOWS.com, and get your seat now at 877-907-TRADE, 877-907-TRADE.
Hi, welcome to Staples. What can I help you find today?
Yeah, hi. I need a new printer. Mine's way too slow.
Perfect timing. This week we've got amazing deals on all regularly priced HP printers in the store, up to 50% off.
Wow, you're a lifesaver.
That's not all. All HP Ink is buy one and get the second half off this week.
Wow, must be my lucky day.
It's your lucky week, but only this week.
Make big savings happen. Make better printing happen. Staples. Make more happen.
Offers end 8/1/15, 50%.